We're going on the ultimate street food tour of Manhattan. From budget bites to carnivore delights, let's eat our way through New York's richest and most famous borough.
We're at No One, which is New York's first Korean-American gastropub, and they have a legendary burger that's calling our name.
What's up, guys? Welcome to No One, #1 burger in New York City. It's a mural of my grandfather, not me. Everyone thought it was me. I'm not a narcissist. Come on in, come on in. Fresh patties. So it's really a blend of using some nostalgic ingredients with some high quality ingredients. Like we use a great blend of meat. We smash it. It's a technique that really matters. Season it with our special umami seasoning. What's in it? I can't tell you. There's our sesame buns. We get custom made sesame seeded buns from a local bakery. Look how soft and airy. Look at all those air pockets. We get a nice sear on one side. And while the other side is cooking, we're gonna start to layer some cheese over the top. So now, we're gonna give it a quick steam, just to melt the cheese over the top. So I love American cheese because it just melts right into the cracks and crevice of the burger patty. Every nook and cranny, that's what I really love. And we sear every burger patty to order. Sesame seed is so important. So this burger was really inspired by my favorite burger growing up. When I moved to America when I was 8 years old, I fell in love with Big Mac. The sesame seeds on the bun, that to me is like childhood right there. Nice and toasted. This is our kimchi special sauce. I'm gonna do some raw onion on the bottom, add some freshness and a little bite. This is our homemade roasted kimchi, my mom's recipe. So we make this here. We make about 100 pounds of Napa cabbage a week. And then on top, we're gonna add some of our homemade house pickles. So when I came over this burger, the real thing was Korean barbecue is meat and kimchi, whether it's pork belly, you know, marinated meats, whatever. So how can I take Korean traditional flavors and incorporate that into an American staple as a burger? So the bun is a vehicle for a Korean barbecue in my mind. We don't play around, #1.
I don't think I've ever been so hungry watching a burger made in my entire
really?
life, I'm telling you. This is a pretty burger. It's been calling out to me.
It even feels nice to hold.
All right, ready? Let's take a bite. Something that Jay said in there is really standing out to me. These two buns here are just holding together that Korean barbecue experience. And as soon as I tasted the kimchi and the kimchi sauce with the moist patties and the cheese, oh, flavor explosion off the charts.
This has to be the best burger I ever had. Like, right away you bite into it, that pillowy soft bun. You got that pack full of like kimchi. I don't know what to say about this. This thing is perfection, really.
It's hard to pinpoint any weaknesses when the two sesame seed buns, he's searing it and buttering it at the same time. Every single part of this burger has been so well thought out. And even with so much going on, this is memorable. And I think the word legendary does make a lot of sense here.
A cheeseburger meets Korean barbecue. It's really unlike anything I've had before.
And that's what they're going for. I mean, that's the theme here, the Korean-American experience. With some beers, this is a Maku Korean beer. A lot of kimchis I've had in the past have been much spicier than this one, but I think this is the perfect temperature because if it was too spicy, it might take away from the burger too much. You ever get something that you like so much, but you don't want to eat it too fast because you want to savor every bite? This is a burger like that for me.
It looks so pretty, I didn't even want to touch it at first.
I'm trying to think if I've ever had a better burger in my life, and I'm struggling. I've had some good ones in New York, like at Raoul's, we filmed there. That was really memorable, but I don't know, maybe because I saw this birthed right in front of me, this burger will always have a special place in my heart as I eat it. He said 10 out of 10. I'm not a ratings channel, but this would be pretty close to a 10 out of 10 for me, as far as burgers are concerned. What about you?
For me, it's a 10 out of 10. They perfected it with this. Another thing about this thing is the price. 21 bucks. I'll easily pay $21 for this.
Normally, I would find it very difficult to justify a $21 burger, but in this case, I would justify the cost. You know, this isn't a fast food spot. I think this is a burger you come to celebrate something. This is a nice date night. This is a nice friends night, catching up. You want to spend some time here to enjoy it. You've heard of Shake Shack, you've heard of Five Guys, but have you heard of 7th Street Burger, which has built a cult following in the city since it opened just 2 years ago, and now there are more than a dozen locations, and this is one of the hottest burger spots in all of New York, and we're gonna see if it actually lives up to that hype. Action Kids, 7th Street Burger, you've heard all the hype. What are your first impressions?
I mean, this is basically a hole in the wall right here.
And they make decision making really simple because their menu barely has any choices. Cheeseburger, double, impossible, fries, Coke, that's it. Keep it simple, 3 cheeseburgers. They bring you the burgers outside. We are sitting under heat lamps. It's about 40 degrees right now. This is nice. I'm gonna let you get yours first.
This thing is greasy and sloppy. Look at this, the patty is bigger than the bun, like 1.5 times the size of the bun here.
All their burgers are served with grilled onions, American cheese, pickles, and their house sauce, and a griddle toasted Martin potato bun. Also just the crisp edges of the patty here. One of New York's hottest burgers right now, 7th Street. Let's try it. Not quite a White Castle slider, not quite a Shack burger, but perfectly in between. And the first thing that hit me was the onions. Caramelized onions on top.
What hit me at first is the sauce. This is kind of like a Big Mac sauce. This thing is amazing. The sauce is really what makes it. I love how thin the beef is and just satisfying overall.
I love the simplicity of this. You know exactly what you're getting. No lettuce, no tomato, just plenty of grease, plenty of burger here.
No frills.
No frills. Yeah, I'm telling you, the sauce brings it all together. That and the onions, it would be perfect to me if the onions were just a little bit more caramelized, a little bit more, but other than that, it's a good fast food burger, I have to say.
Yeah, this thing, $6.50. I mean, great price, great value too.
You know, I've eaten at all the city chains, and a lot of people say that Shake Shack is overrated. I am a Shake Shack fan. I do not think 7th Street Burger is overrated. I think I'm jumping on the hype train. They got one of these in Brooklyn I'm gonna be hitting up near me now. It ain't pretty, but it works.
Yep.
And these just keep expanding and expanding. In 2 years, there's over 12, which is now matched Five Guys. Shake Shack's got about 3 dozen, so this could be coming to a city near you. And why not come to the original, the OG 7th Street Burger on 7th Street? What do you think? Shake Shack versus 7th Street, what would you pick?
7th Street. The price is definitely better.
Yeah.
I think Shake Shack's at least $8.
I think for me it would depend on what kind of mood I'm in. If I want a couple of burgers, I'd pick 7th Street. I'm really on the fence. I think I need to try more of these before I give my final opinion on it. This is Lexington Candy Shop. It's been open since 1925, and it is the city's oldest running family luncheonette. All right, Action Kid, what are your impressions walking through these doors?
Wow, this is like a really, really retro diner. I mean, I've seen this place before when I've walked by, but I've never stepped inside.
First time for me too. This is definitely my favorite kind of diner in New York. I mean, this place is absolutely legendary. Their milkshakes are really good as well.
Does this remind you of your past with the New Jersey diners?
This is like a New Jersey diner, but even more vintage. This is more like corner luncheonette. This is dying out in New York. These are very tough to find.
The store started in 1925, and they made candy and chocolates down in the basement. We're on our 4th generation, so it's still in the same family, still in the same location.
And we're featuring the Butter Burger. What can you say about it?
Well, it's a decadent product, like what they do in the steakhouses after the steak's cooked. They add butter to it to give it that nice glistening taste. Everything just tastes better with butter.
I'll do one of the Butter Burgers, fries, and I want to do one of your famous Coca-Cola floats.
Butter burger and small egg cream.
Thank you so much. This is their world famous Coca-Cola float. This is one of the only places left in New York you can still get Coke the old-fashioned way. Coca-Cola syrup, seltzer, and a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top. I have never tried this before, and I'm excited. Wow. This feels like something I would run in here for at 3 o'clock on a school day in 1965, and I'd be sitting at the counter enjoying this. This tastes like a childhood I never had.
So egg cream, for those who don't know, it's syrup and seltzer water and really good.
That's old school New York City drink right there. That's another tough one to find. The only place in Manhattan I know that's very famous for it is Ray's Candy Shop, where we have filmed before. That's another destination worth visiting. But when they said butter burger, they meant it. Like we got butter on the patty, you got butter on the bun.
I don't know if butter will be a good replacement for cheese. I'll be curious.
And you can do butter and cheese. I just thought it was too much. I wanted to see just the butter.
You can. There's a butter cheeseburger too.
The butter is glistening. You could just hear the juices and the butter dripping out as I took that first bite. It's so juicy. I never really thought about putting butter on a burger before. It sounds a little interesting to me, but I'm all about this right now. Combined with the Coca-Cola float, this is really like going back in time. It's like being a kid.
The patty is solid, the bun is soft, and crunchy lettuce, but that butter, it works. It's like definitely a replacement for cheese, or you could even add cheese on this if you want. It won't hurt.
Do not sleep on the fries here. And normally I want to douse my fries with ketchup. I don't even think it's necessary here.
You don't need it here, to be honest. These are like nice hearty fries.
They were telling me with a Coke float, you could eat the ice cream with a spoon, but I've just left it in, and I'm starting to get some of that vanilla ice cream flavor towards the bottom. So this is a drink that just has a big payoff at the end. The longer you let it sit, it tastes so good. Or if you just order a Coke, period, they'll give it to you with syrup and seltzer, but I say go for it. I think add the ice cream. This has definitely elevated the butter burger. This is what you have to order if you come here, if you're in the mood for it.
Oh yeah.
And you can combine with the experience of sitting in one of New York's oldest running family luncheonettes. This just checks off so many boxes, and why I put it in the video.
You definitely know this place is retro when you have like tens of bottles of Coke against the wall in the window.
Yeah, they really do, you're right. They have some old looking Cokes that I've never seen before. Is that like the 1980 Olympics on there? If you have kids, take them here. Or if you're a kid at heart, like me, come here as well. Mexican Candy Shop definitely has a new widespread appeal. You know, right before we came in, it was absolutely jam-packed. They've gone viral on social media many times over. And I'm really happy that a new generation is discovering a lost art. If you're not from the US, you probably never saw anything like this unless it was in a movie. And this place actually has been in a couple of movies. This was featured in 3 Days of the Condor with Robert Redford. They even have a menu on the wall from 1925. A Coke was 10 cents and a fancy sundae was 25 cents. So in 100 years, a little bit of inflation, right?
Yeah, a lot of inflation.
Maybe in the last 2 or 3 years, a lot of inflation.
The East Village of Manhattan, one of the city's hippest neighborhoods, and it's also home to some of the city's best cheap eats. Today, we'll be showing you can't miss budget bites in the East Village. Don't watch this video on an empty stomach. You've been warned. I feel like I'm third wheeling on a date here.
The interior is sick. It's got like octopus, pirates, lights, everything.
This isn't your like average hole-in-the-wall dumpling spot. This is very new.
Hi guys, welcome. So dumpling and dip is Thai style dumpling from Thailand. We specialize in homemade dumpling. Right now we have 10 different flavors. So we have vegan option for the customer. We also have regular pork, chicken, gluten-free option as well. And highly recommend for chicken green curry and spicy pork basil.
Homemade Thai milk tea. Wow. Party platter, perfect for a small group. All right, we've got the party platter and some extras they gave us. So we have 10 different types of dumplings here, guys. Let's give it a bite. Let's try it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Shrimp is really good. Nice and crunchy.
This is really spicy. They're not playing around.
Same. It's so good though.
I mean, Ben, you were saying that you saw some differences that are more Thai style than Chinese style here.
I would say so. You know, everyone loves dumpling, everyone loves Thai food. And they really stepped it up in terms of putting the two together. And you have the best of Thai food, like the fresh seafood, all the herbs. So I think they really stepped it up, created their own lane with this Thai dumpling combo.
Yeah, like in New York, just the dumpling game is so crowded. I think you have to do things a little bit differently to get some attention these days.
I'll try this octopus dumpling.
No, I'm not a big octopus guy, so I'm letting them do it. What do you think of it?
It's amazing.
You guys agree this could be the perfect group activity? Get a party platter like this. They've got barcade across the street. They've got karaoke.
We should check this place out at night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then go karaoke.
Word.
I mean, you got St. Mark's right here, which is one of the busiest, most hopping streets in all of New York City for nightlife. I think they put this like the perfect location.
Yeah.
Oh, this Thai milk tea is really good with this. Chili oil, missing link here, wow. Got a nice kick to it, but I can handle it. Ming ate this all by herself. You know, one of the biggest food crazes I've seen in the city the last couple years are Korean corn dogs.
Big time. Thanks to TikTok.
Thanks to TikTok.
Yep.
Not only do they have Korean corn dogs here, but they got K-pop albums as well. Now, this isn't my thing. Do you know anything about K-pop, Ming?
Actually, you know, I love the old school stuff. Big Bang.
I don't think most Korean corn dog spots have K-pop. This is unique.
Yeah.
All right, number 1, number 4, number 5, number 12.
Yes.
My sticks don't break.
You guys went wild with the condiments, my God.
This is a monster.
All right, I've actually never tried this before. I'm super excited. Ready?
Big bite, John. Big bite.
Big bite, let's do it.
Cheers.
I'm working to that level. I never would have thought that powdered sugar on top of a corn dog would work as well as it's working right now, but somehow amazing.
Crunchy, cheesy, spicy, savory, sugary, all in one.
She sounded like a commercial for this place, right? I can understand why this got so popular on TikTok. Just watching Ben with those cheese pulls. This is actually a fun food to eat. There we go.
I think it takes some skills. Let me do it.
Skills I lack. I've never felt so left out in my entire life. So, disclaimer, I just realized that neither of them actually had hot dogs in their K-dogs. It was just cheese and I think sweet potato and cheese. Hence, it was easier for the cheese pull. I don't feel as bad anymore. Ming, you recommended Yubu for this video. You've been here a few times, right?
I love this place. It's rice pockets of joy.
Since this is one of Ming's favorite spots in the East Village, she's gonna order.
Yeah, basically beef bulgogi, 4 of them. Pork, spicy chicken cheese, mushroom bulgogi, spicy mushroom, crab meat, salmon, avocado, and the fish roe. And then we got 3 aids.
All right, this is inari. If you don't know what it is, rice-filled tofu pockets with different meats or toppings. This looks a little bit like sushi here. Ben, so we've got another spot here in Yubu that's been open about a year. So the Asian cheap eat scene in the East Village just keeps getting tastier and tastier.
Oh yeah. And this place here offers high quality protein that I don't feel bad eating at all.
Yeah, usually when you think of cheap eats, you're thinking carbs, you're thinking carb overload.
You do have some carbs here, but you have some high quality protein.
Oh, yeah, I got beef bulgogi on top and
some salmon, basically sashimi. And what I gotta say is that they get the tofu, rice, and protein ratio down right.
Let's try this. My first time here. Let's do it.
Wow.
So soft, just melts in your mouth. I love how spongy it is and flavor of the bulgogi's just right.
The salmon is so fresh, oh my god. I didn't expect to get fresh salmon from a Korean quick bite. Like you said, how fast it melts in your mouth. If you're not careful, you get full from these easily.
I feel like I could just knock these out one by one pretty quick.
It's dangerous.
Very dangerous. All right, I'm gonna try the salmon now. I wanna see how fresh this is. Wow, I think I might like the salmon better.
Right?
Super fresh, really similar sushi vibes for me with the salmon on top of the rice. Really similar, but heartier, clearly, bigger. Ben and I were actually having this conversation that the St. Mark's area probably has the most diverse Asian cuisine for quick eats, cheap eats in all of New York City.
I think so, yeah. I remember from my high school days, it used to be a lot of Japanese, quirky Japanese seats. Now it's a lot of Korean, a lot of Chinese, a lot of Taiwanese boba shops. You get everything here.
Guys, here, these drinks are called Aid, Yuzu Aids, and this one is the grapefruit aid, and that is the honey citron aid. And they're basically like fruit soda, a great addition. Really refreshing to these little pockets.
The key is you have to stir it
Yes.
before you drink it. I drank it without stirring it, and I'm like, guys, what's the hype here? Like, completely ignorant to what this was, so.
Like, Johnny has to stir it, and he's like poking it.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, nah, that's not how you stir it. Like a baby, you know? Yeah, but also super cool thing about Yubu is that whenever we ask people, hey, what's your favorite place to eat in the East Village? They say Yubu. Hi, what's your favorite place to eat in the East Village?
Yubu's amazing.
Yubu is also a really good spot too.
I want to let you guys know that Ben and Ming have introduced me to so much amazing cuisine in New York City. Subscribe to their channel. If you think this is an adventure, they go to spots like this all the time. Food adventurers, subscribe right now. All right, you insisted on Lady Wong. Why?
Because I've been noticing a lot of new Southeast Asian food spots, food halls open up. So I think this is a good place to check out.
And it's dessert, best for last.
So we're a Malaysian, Singaporean style bakery. We do a lot of traditional stuff, as well as some more Western style stuff with Southeast Asian flavors. It's fun to bring these flavors to New York City and America in general, just because you really can't get this stuff anywhere else in the country.
2 of the Indonesian rainbow cakes, 2 of the pandan seramukas, and we'll do 2 of the palem jawas. And then if we could get 1 of the black sesame passion fruits, would be great. Even if like gold forks.
Cold forks. It's fancy. Nice touch.
This is so colorful. This will be perfect for Pride next year in New York.
Ooh.
It's actually fun to eat. You can peel the Indonesian rainbow cake layer by layer. All right, here we go.
Sticky.
I'm feeling the hints of coconut right now. Coconut and pandan, very sticky.
So delicious. I love this. Half of this is soft and the other half is sticky rice. Really good texture.
I'm pretty sure this dessert showcased a lot in Crazy Rich Asian, because that's South Asian food.
Ben, one of your favorite phrases on this channel is it reminds me of something in the Philippines, but this time you're actually onto something.
This Indonesian rainbow cake smells very familiar. I'm almost positive I grew up smelling this in every fiestas, but I've never had this before. Yep. This is basically a sapin in disguise. Wow.
Back home.
Now I'm officially homesick. This does, in fact, remind me of the Philippines. You'll never see this in the Philippines though, which is so weird.
Black sesame passion fruit, their best seller. We're splitting it. Try it. I can see why it's the best seller.
Where'd it go? Melts it.
It disappears in your mouth.
Even that shell, that custody shell disappeared too.
Yeah, this is delicious. And sweet and sour and so good.
This would be an amazing pastry to bring to a birthday party. You will impress the birthday person, I promise you.
I would eat a whole birthday cake of this.
I'm absolutely blown away by the options here. Everything in this video is within less than a 5-minute walk. And we barely scratched the surface of the East Village cheap eat scene. Like, could do part 2, 3, 4, and 5 if we wanted.
New York's holiday markets are like a fantasy land for anyone who loves food. Today, we're eating our way through the Bryant Park Winter Village. They've got street food galore, tons of stalls lined up with all sorts of international dishes, many with a special holiday spin to them. You don't want to miss it. All right, Action Kid, we're starting with Baked Cheese House, and this always has one of the longest lines at the market. You excited?
Oh yeah, every time you come by here, it smells wonderful, and yeah, we gotta try it for sure.
You can smell that cheese a mile away. I was thinking traditional. Can we cut it in 3? All right, this is intense. Raclette. Alpine cheese, melted and scraped off the wheel with spring onions, baby gherkins, and Dijon mustard. The cool thing is they will split this even into halves or thirds if you want. And my first impression was I couldn't believe how much extra cheese they kept putting on this thing.
I mean, this thing's like overwhelming, man. Like, just the smell of it, you pass by, crazy amount of Swiss cheese like flavor.
Nice crunchy baguette. And then so much cheese, it was almost like having an extra cheese pizza and getting that pull on the bite. Overwhelming, but in the best way possible.
Baguette, so crunchy. I think that's the best part of it. And then you have that strong Swiss cheese type flavor, and it's counteracted by the sour pickle and the spring onion. It's really good.
Are you surprised by how long that line is? I think this is the spot I've heard people tell me they traveled from far away to give a go. This is not easy to find in New York.
I know, I mean, I haven't had anything like this before. The closest thing I could think of having to this is like a Philly cheesesteak. Even then, it's not like this.
Foreshadowing a little bit on the cheesesteak soon. So from looking it up, raclette, I mean, this is popular in Switzerland, in French resort towns. Also reading that this is well known in Scandinavia. It's like kind of giving us those alpine night vibes, right?
I can see why they would probably eat this in like a really cold climate. It's very like heartwarming and cozy.
It's like a nice like warm apple cider next to you, eating this. Definitely worth it. You know, split this with your group. You can have a fun little street food crawl. And that's something that maybe scares a lot of people about the Bryant Park Winter Village is yes, it's very pricey,
For sure.
but you could split things. Well, this wins longest line of the day so far. Apparently truffled cheesesteak is a very big deal in this market. As you can see, the line stretches there, around, and around.
It's only gonna get busier as time goes on.
Start at 4 o'clock on a weeknight, okay? Earlier the better. Good. It's about 1 truffle cheesesteak. That's it, yeah. Thank you, take care. New York's most expensive cheesesteak, $22 for the truffle cheesesteak here, right? And we've got a ½ pound of seared ribeye steak, caramelized onions, sauteed peppers, melted mozzarella and provolone blend, and bechamel cheese sauce on a toasted rustic roll with their homemade truffle oil to top this all off. It's really tough to hold this thing together. Look at all that meat and cheese dripping out. I don't even know where to begin with this thing. My senses just went into overdrive. I don't even know what we're focusing on here. The truffle oil hits you right away, but the blend of the 3 cheeses and like the thinly chopped meat hits a lot better than I thought. Decadent bite of cheesesteak. I think they're building up something that's considered just standard street food into, I don't know, something you might see at a fine dining restaurant. At least this would be the version. Maybe we're missing like a gold-plated leaf. They really thought this through. Like all the flavors combined together. Somehow it's not too much. It just works.
This is probably one of the messiest sandwiches I've ever seen. But if this is as good as what John says it is.
I'm curious what you think. Be honest with me.
Oh my gosh.
You just lost $5 worth of meat there and cheese.
It's coming off. We gotta eat this at an angle.
Go ahead.
Here we go. Okay, now we're talking. First of all, right away, that truffle oil just hits you. 3 blend cheese, while the bechamel cream sauce and the mozzarella provolone, rich and bold flavor. This thinly sliced meat, so good too. Bun, part of it that I ate, a little bit soggy, but I think it's been sitting for a while.
Yeah.
So extremely bold sandwich. And then you got the peppers.
I think it's worth it to spend the extra $2 for the truffle oil. I mean, that's kind of the point.
I know, yeah. You have to get it with the truffle oil. I mean, make sure you're prepared to eat this with a fork and make sure you do it over the container because it's gonna get all over the place.
And bring some napkins too, because your hands are gonna get oily. This is a whole procedure to eat this. This reminds me of the roast beef sandwich from Brennan and Carr a little bit. A little bit different flavor profile, but the messiness and how like soggy the bread is, getting there a little bit.
That's the one thing I could say about this sandwich. It gets soggy and messy quick, so gotta eat it quick.
This would be good to have with like a beer. You know, I wouldn't compare this to like your average cheesesteak. This is its own beast, okay?
Honestly, I've never seen anywhere else.
Maybe this will be a new trend in New York, I don't know. Truffle cheesesteak, next birria taco. Okay, if you split this with somebody, 11 bucks each, do you think it's worth it?
Yeah, totally.
I'm super picky for something this expensive, but once in your life, yeah, I would do it. What would be good for like 2 people to split, you think?
I mean, chicken and shrimp for the stock.
Okay.
And then flavored with the Malaysian curry, and then topped with shrimp and fish balls. And the bowl comes with egg noodles and rice.
Let's do it.
Full laksa. It comes with the egg noodles and the rice noodles, and then it goes in our noodle warmers to just like warm up. So it comes with Chinese long beans, which is almost like a string bean, but a little hardier. And then shrimps, which our shrimps are also poached in our curry soup. It's a Malaysian fish balls. This one we're using is a white one, not fried, just boiled. So we just warm it again in here. So this is our laksa soup. You'll see the tofu puffs are in here. That also goes in the bowl, but we let it soak in the soup so then like it really absorbs the flavor of the laksa. But the vegetarian ones are shiitake mushrooms for the stock with some miso, and then the Malaysian curry in there. The full portion, the bean sprouts are at the bottom, and then we put the noodles over it. Then the toppings on top. Okay, ready for soup? Now this is where we finish the bowl. So it goes with some cilantro on top, slice of lime. Squeeze it on before you enjoy the bowl. Half a hard-boiled egg. Finish it off, it's fried shallots. So the curry is more on a milder heat. We do have a side of hot sauce if you guys like spicy. It's Mama Lamb's hot sauce.
Wow, it smells great already.
Ready?
Yeah, let's go.
As I said, eating around the world, Malaysian curry noodle soup. And that is the glory of New York. You can find food from everywhere. And this is the kind of delicacy, kind of dish that excites me coming to a market like this. Because maybe you wouldn't expect it. Have you had much Malaysian food?
I've had some, yeah. This one, though, looks really good.
We're both trying laksa for the first time.
Cheers.
Cheers, let's do it.
This is really good. The rice noodles are very thin, and what hits you is really that broth and the Malaysian curry. I can really taste that coconut milk as well, which gives it just that little bit of extra thing that you need here.
She was telling us about Malaysian food in general, and I've only had it a handful of times. Indian influences, Indian spices, but then you have the Southeast Asian influence going on with like the coconut milk and the flavor, and it's spicy, like in the best possible way.
Oh yeah, like hits you, but not that much. What I'm gonna do now is squeeze the lime in it. That'll just enhance the flavor some more, and try some of the other ingredients in here, like the tofu and the hard-boiled egg.
This might be the perfect food to walk around the market and to keep you warm on a really cold night like tonight.
Oh, for sure.
Look at that tofu piece right here. You know, I'm normally not a tofu fan, but covered in that broth, so good.
Whoa, probably the best Malaysian curry I've had in a while. It's not overly heavy.
I'm actually surprised that they don't have a brick and mortar or a food truck yet. They were telling me that they're looking into it. Amazing thing about coming to markets like this, you could find like the next up and coming food spot in New York before it gets really popular.
If you come on a weekday like today, no line, you don't have to really wait.
Yeah, weekends it gets a little busy, I'm sure, closer to Christmas as well.
I had a big like bunch of bean sprouts in here, and they're just so crunchy, and it hit that egg, the cilantro, packed with flavor. I think this might be the best thing in the market. I can see why Eater wrote them up.
Eater wrote them up, and this was one of their top picks for the market. I still want to try more things before I say what the best is, but this has really, really impressed me a lot. I don't think there's anything in this dish that they did wrong.
A lot of places, they gave you half a hard-boiled egg, but this is a full egg. This is a fish ball, which I didn't even try. There's more stuff in here.
A lot of ingredients snuck in on us.
Let's try this.
And it's nice you could split this easily too in a couple of cups. Just want to drink this like chicken soup right now. If you're visiting New York for the first time and you need some more information, check out my Thatch guides. We've got places to eat, neighborhoods to check out, even a complete holiday guide to the city, constantly updated. Check out the link in the description for more details. Hell's Kitchen Paella Heaven is owned by same guys that run Easy Paella in Hell's Kitchen. It's a different name for the market. And I love their brick and mortar store, and I love their location at Bryant Park as well. You can get most of the same stuff. All right, we want 2 of your famous chicken paellas.
All right. Right away.
Oh, muchas gracias. Always excited to eat this, Alex. Always excited.
So Easy Paella is actually one of my favorite tapas spots in all of Midtown Manhattan. It's cool because it's a fusion of a Venezuelan style with Spanish paella. He's done one of the only paella burritos actually in the world. Have you ever tried this before?
I've had paella in general, more like seafood, but to have it with chicken, never had it.
Good. All right, let's give it a go.
Yeah, looks very colorful.
Sticking with that warm, hearty theme. I always love the extra virgin olive oil as well that they put on top of the rice. It's very distinct, their paella, I've got to tell you.
Very light texture with that olive oil and the rice prepared well. Oh. Well enough that it falls on my pants. Gotta try the peppers now. Oh yeah, those sweet peppers, they really do it.
This is definitely one of my favorite fusion spots at the entire Winter Village. Clearly worth it.
Yeah, and they give you a lot of food too.
Really good for sharing, yeah. How are we gonna eat this much today? I bet everybody thinks we're eating every single thing in this video. We are taking some things home.
Yeah, there's no way we can eat everything, especially like with the cheeses and the heavy sauces.
A lot of heavy stuff here. You know what? Make sure you walk a lot before you come here and walk a lot after, or go ice skating, something to burn those calories. About 10 steps away from Spain, we're going to Portugal.
Joey Bat's Cafe, it's my son, Joey Batista. When he moved into Manhattan 11 years ago, they nicknamed him Joey Bats. So then he thought it'd be a cool name for a business. Then he got sick of his job, he decided to open the business with my cake. And then we started doing the natas, which is Portugal's most famous pastry, pastel de nata. In the middle, it's a custard, but my son describes it perfectly. Imagine a warm creme brulee wrapped in a flaky croissant. You're gonna need 2 because 1 is not enough. I also call them love at first bite. A little cinnamon, a little powdered sugar.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have to say, I loved her story and her pride in her son for opening the business. And a mom-son combo is, I don't think it's so common anymore in food businesses. I love it. I love family-owned businesses like that. And natas, as you've heard, the most popular pastry in all of Portugal. I think I actually had this before in Lisbon. You were impressed by the price, right?
$4. I mean, I just came back from a trip from London, and over there it was hard to find some cheap eats. I was in their Chinatown. I paid $5 for a custard bun that exploded all over my jacket. This can pass for a cheap eat.
Let's see what the hype's about. Joey Bat's Cafe, trying a nata. Let's do it. She was right.
Whoa.
Love it first bite. Like the creme brulee in the middle.
Creme brulee makes a croissant.
Yeah, pretty accurate actually.
Yeah, I would even say like it might be part donut too.
She looked at us, I said there's only 3 of us. She's like, you're gonna need more than 1. She knew something there.
You might even need 3.
Warm, gooey. I finished that in 2 bites. Maybe that was a little quick, but wow.
Yeah, I could do it in 2 too, but I wanted to show the rest. A fun fact, this Portuguese pastel de nata is actually the inspiration for the Hong Kong egg tarts or the Cantonese egg tarts that you'll see in dim sum.
I don't know, I'm actually struggling to think what I like better, the Portuguese Hong Kong style egg tarts or the natas. Right now I'm leaning on the natas, I don't know.
This one,
I'm leaning on the OG.
I think the OG is better, man. There's something about this crust and the cream in here that really makes it stand out.
The egg custard is just perfect for a holiday market. This surprised me a lot. I didn't know what to expect.
This might be the best dessert in the market to really warm you up and everything.
I think this could be the best ice skating rink in the city. At least for the price, because it's free if you bring your own skates. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you. Look at these desks here. This is like going back to school. Going back to school of eating. I don't want to knock this over. Look, they even have a little cup holder. Look at this. Yeah, it's pretty tough to find a table here, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is.
We got like the prime seating in the entire market. Are you really at a holiday market if you don't have hot chocolate?
You gotta have hot chocolate.
It's $5.50 for the classic. They have a $14 hot chocolate somewhere on this market. This is actually considered cheap, I would say.
Ooh, big chocolatey flavor, rich.
Very rich. Tough to say no to the whipped cream on top, but the star of the show definitely The bombolone, Nutella.
Yeah, there's so much sugar on it that I'm gonna hold on to it with a napkin so I don't spill anything.
What do you think?
I don't know, is it gonna explode?
It's already coming out on the side, you see? I've decided not to try to open this, so we're just gonna eat it.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat it.
All right, bon appetit.
Okay, here we go.
Oozing in there.
I didn't have much Nutella, it was just the donut exterior and the powder. Another bite will do it. Oh yeah, that is good.
I like the little powdered sugar on top. Definitely different than your typical American donut, and that's another cool thing about this market. We're not just doing donuts and hot chocolate, okay? We're doing a bombolone.
Yeah, I can see why they call it Big Bomb. Look at all the stuff in it. It's like an explosion of Nutella, fried dough, powdered sugar.
This is gonna put you to sleep.
That's why they have the ice skating rink here, so you can go ice skating after you eat it.
A lot of good reasons to burn calories after this.
And I'm glad I used a napkin to eat this, because there's sugar coming all out now.
You ever heard of this before?
I've seen like something similar at Dunkin' Donuts where they put the like the jelly or like the Nutella on the outside,
Maybe.
but not like this.
Inspired by Italian pastries.
Yeah, this reminds me more of a cannoli than a donut.
Yeah, definitely see that. I've never actually done a food crawl like this at the Winter Village. I've usually stopped for one thing, maybe two tops, but with a bunch of friends, even two people as a date, I think you can have a lot of fun. I mean, you're gonna spend money, but it might not be as bad as you think.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an interesting market to come by. I certainly learned a lot of different places in here. Whoever thought you'd have Malaysian food and baked cheese next to Italian donuts.
I guess the moral of the story is there's more than just shopping here. And that's fantastic for my foodies watching.
Today, we're eating and drinking our way through Harlem, a neighborhood equally known for its culture and cuisine. We'll be guided by a local who knows all the hidden gems. We'll show you why Harlem is a can't-miss destination. Larry, we're starting at Jin Jan Cafe, and from the outside, it just looks like your ordinary cafe, but that couldn't be further from the truth, right?
Yeah, this is a local favorite. A lot of people come here to do some work, but they got excellent food here. They got great African teas, great African cuisine, sandwiches, wraps, bowls, soups, and so forth. And this is also a place where I start my walking tours in Harlem. I think we should check it out.
Let's do it.
Okay.
We started the company back in 2015, and the whole idea behind it is to make food and beverage products that are based on traditional African recipes. A lot of ingredients come from the continent, but no products or brands have been built around celebrating the people, the culture of the continent. We have unique bowls and salads and wraps and snacks that are all inspired by dishes that we grew up on. Superstar on that is probably the jollof rice. Rice cooked in a rich tomato stew, fried plantains, roasted veggies, root vegetables, potatoes, carrots, sweet potatoes actually, julienne, cabbage and carrots tossed in a little bit of a vinaigrette. The chicken is actually cooked in the stew itself, chutney on top.
What do you think?
This is a meal right here, man.
It's supposed to be a snack for us to start.
I like the spices, how they combine in here.
I like how the chicken you said is also cooked right in the stew as well. It's so juicy and moist. I've not had enough West African food in my life. I need to change that. I don't know, Larry, should we just cancel the rest of the video and eat here?
we can make you your own.
We can do the whole buffet here.
There's a version of it in every country you go to. We actually have moms, if you will, right? Pair them up with our chef. But we started with mom's recipe and sort of played around with it.
Do you have a lot of people that come in here and say this reminds them of home?
Oh, all the time. All the time. It's like the best compliment you can pay.
So I'm gonna recommend my guests to get this. I always tell them to get the drink, but now I'm gonna tell them to get the meal.
Our cassava fries. Cassava, we boil, deep fry them, and we garnish it with cilantro, parsley, some fresh onions, salt and pepper, and some lemon juice, and toss it all up.
Oh, it's not your ordinary fry. No, it's good stuff. Let me try it with the ketchup.
Definitely never had fries like this before. Yeah? No, never.
I have friends that I went to college with that I brought here in 2010. You know, and the plan was to come get fancy degrees and get fancy jobs, lawyers, engineers, you know. But I would not trade the last 10 years of doing this with anything.
If you want to explore West African cuisine, but not feel like you have to order a ton of things, just keep it simple, this is where I would go. Larry, this is a great start. This is hidden gem for sure.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
This is like stepping back in time, you're right.
In the 1990s, this train station fell into disrepair. Then in 1999, they renovated the train station to make it look like its glorious past back in 1897. They did a good job.
Oh, we got one more little surprise.
I usually show people is we center ourselves right here in the middle.
Okay.
And look straight down 125th Street. The yellow line goes all the way down about 8 blocks. On the right of the building, there's another building with a sign sticking out like this, the world's famous Apollo Theater. This is the picture that people think about when they think about Harlem.
Metro North, 125th.
It's the best free view is this one.
We've agreed this is the best free view of Harlem.
Yes. So you could tell if somebody's from Harlem by what street name they choose to use. So 125th Street is Martin Luther King Boulevard. But if you come to Harlem and say, I'm looking for so-and-so at Martin Luther King Boulevard, people know right away you're not from Harlem, right? Because we still say 125th. And if you're really cool, you won't say 125th, you'll say 25th.
There's a lot of famous soul food in Harlem. Yes. We're at Jacob Restaurant. This is a buffet. I've never heard of this. Why is this your locals pick?
I like Jacob's because this is where the local people go to eat soul food. Every time I come here, it's an open buffet, you pay by the pound. Usually my plate usually comes out to $8 and less.
That's pretty cheap.
That's pretty cheap, and the food is delicious, as you will see. And I usually walk around this way.
There's like a whole buffet strategy.
Yes, it is a strategy, right? You got the lasagna, you got the rice and beans, you got this.
Sweet candied yams, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. You think it's a good choice?
Yeah, it looks nice. Look at the color on that.
It looks good.
Yeah. And I can hear the crunch.
This is the lone healthy thing we're getting. A single sliced avocado.
Yes.
It's like having a Diet Coke with this. So when the restaurant's full and it's 40 degrees outside, we sit outside. Oh, that smell hit me right away.
Start with the cold potato salad. Oh yeah, this is soul food, it's comfort food.
Yeah.
And this is making me feel really good right now.
I'm actually curious about this fried chicken here.
Oh, I hear the crunchiness.
Crispy. I like it. How important is soul food to the culture of Harlem?
Soul food is everything because during the Great Migration, when millions of people from the South came to the North, migrated to the North, most of the households, they make soul food, especially when they have a family gathering. The first question is, who made the potato salad, right? Right now, anybody can just come in anybody's kitchen and make something. You gotta know what you're doing. That's why people love Jacob's. You're eating food that reminds you of family gathering.
I wanna know who made these candied yams. They're fantastic.
Wow, yeah. In the summertime, this outdoor area is pretty packed.
Yeah.
You see the diversity of Harlem.
Has this street changed a lot in the last, 10, 20 years?
You used to have more mom and pop shops, but now you have a little bigger brands. You can't talk about Harlem without talking about Langston Hughes. He wrote about Lenox Avenue.
Yeah.
Lenox Avenue is like one of the most famous avenues in Harlem.
I don't know what I'm enjoying more about this, the fried chicken or the mac and cheese. It's on another level here.
Oh my goodness.
You picked a winner there.
That barbecue sauce is kicking.
I think this is actually a really cool spot for a casual lunch or dinner. You don't have the time to go to one of the famous sit-down joints. Come over here. I could see myself spending way too much money here. I think if I came on an empty stomach, it'd be bad. It'd be 2 to 3 pounds of food.
Eat with your eyes.
I eat with my eyes. If it was all you can eat, oof, I'd be here all day. It wouldn't be pretty. Larry, I think that Harlem gets certain negative stereotypes about it as far as being dangerous. Can you set the record straight with that for a tourist who may want to visit here?
It was a little rough growing up in Harlem in the 60s and 70s. But now Harlem has changed. Harlem has gentrified a lot, and from the 1990s to current times, all the places in Harlem to me are the same. They're not dangerous at all. Harlem reminds me of any other block or neighborhood in New York City. It's more safe than it ever was when I was growing up. So to me, there's a big difference. People come to Harlem with preconceived ideas, but after they finish my tour, they see that Harlem is nothing like they expected it to be. And then they can form their own opinion, their own ideas.
I think it is important to come form your own opinions, to
come up here yourself.
Eat at the restaurants, meet some of the people.
Yes, the local people.
You told me about this spot last night. You just discovered this cafe. We're sticking to this
Hidden Gems in Harlem theme. Why Art Box?
As I was doing my tour, she gave me a card and she said, I'm new, won't you come check me out? I had some free time yesterday. Pleasantly surprised. She makes a great banana pudding.
Someone mentioned it as they walked out. They said, enjoy the banana pudding. Yeah. I think that's what we're gonna do.
Good afternoon.
We opened September 16th. 2022. Growing up in Harlem, I remember seeing a lot of small mom and pop shops. I worked as a letter carrier in Harlem. And I remember delivering mail to some of these small businesses and always wishing and hoping that I could one day own a small business in my community. Art Box Cafe is a small Black woman-owned coffee cafe in Harlem that also serves as an event studio. This was once the studio of Mr. Alexander Gumby, first African-American male that came out as a gay Black male, and he used this as a scrapbooking museum for all of his work. And that is where the name derived from, Art Box, spelled O-U-R for hour, and I added the T, the pronunciation became Art Box.
What would you say you're most well known for?
Our famous banana pudding and also our carrot cake, which you'll be tasting today. You will get all of my ingredients, and I have to make it fresh every day. But when we sell out, we sell out. Can't make banana pudding without vanilla wafers and some Chiquita bananas. This is a family recipe, and that's why I had to make the pudding before you guys got here so that it can settle. So you guys saved the best for last. So right now we're cutting up a Chiquita banana to go on top of our vanilla wafers, and then we'll be adding another layer of pudding and another layer of wafers on the top. And this recipe is a vegan banana pudding, which is very important, especially with people that have specific dietary needs. Are you guys ready to take a taste?
Oh, yes.
You told me that banana pudding is very connected to soul food as well, right?
Yes, because the banana itself is a fruit from Africa.
And the other interesting thing, this is vegan. I don't know if I've ever featured a vegan dessert on the channel in 7 years, so we're gonna go with this. Let's try it. Now it's like, I can't believe it's not butter. I can't believe that this is vegan. I can't believe it. This is so good.
It brings back memories. Yeah, I used to eat these cookies. We used to like sneak them in the middle of the night. But my grandmother made banana pudding. That was a treat. And that's what soul food is all about, right? It's connecting your emotions to the memories.
I love these vanilla wafers on top, just nice and crunchy. And the banana pudding super, super creamy. Look, another layer. This would be good to share with somebody, and you can get plenty of coffee as well.
You know, I've had like 10 spoonfuls, but it seems like I'm not making progress here.
I'm kind of with you there. This is the never-ending bottomless banana pudding.
A bottomless banana pudding. Yeah.
That's a good idea for dessert.
I like that.
You just keep eating. Oh, this is too much.
Oh.
Thank you.
I was thinking about it since yesterday. I could include this. It's off the beaten path.
We're gonna take a big nap after today, but we're trying the carrot cake and paired with the coffee.
And you're not gonna believe why I have to leave an acupuncture appointment.
Acupuncture? I thought you were gonna say you have a physical and they're gonna do like a blood pressure check.
No for the acupuncture.
Oh yeah, oh even better. See, I put the to-go plate backwards because we never take anything to go because we always finish everything. But I finally admitted defeat here. I don't even know what to-go means.
A few minutes before you came in, we had some people from the community that came in, the homeless community. They know that they can come here sometimes. You know, I feel that they should be included as well. It's about helping one another and seeing where people need help at the areas and inviting them and including them so that they know that they're not excluded in whatever we have going on.
Now, if you've enjoyed Larry as a co-host, imagine him leading a tour of Harlem for you. He has one of the highest rated tours on all of Airbnb. Larry, tell him about your tour.
A Soul of Harlem walking tour. It's a 2.5-hour tour. Harlem's history, Harlem Renaissance, the major plays in Harlem. You are here, walkingtours.com.
Take his tour. You won't regret it if you're visiting the city. All right, Larry, I've actually been here before. Harlem Hops, first Black-owned craft beer bar in Harlem.
That's right.
Why do you like it so much?
Because they got 16 distinct craft beers. They do a lot of work for the community, and they got bar food.
You're still thinking of food at this point?
I really want something to drink at this point.
I want something to drink too.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
It opened about 5 years ago. The owners, Kim, Stacy, and Kevin, are all HBCU grads, and they wanted to have a place where the locals can come and drink great craft beer in Harlem. Some of the best beer from New York State, from New Jersey, Connecticut, from all over. We have 16 beers on tap. We have to promote our own brand, Harlem Hops Pier 57 Imperial Lager. My beer brand, Copper Sun Brewing, has been doing very well here as well. We have one of the best vibes here. You could be from Germany, uptown, downtown, doesn't matter. Whether you like beer or not, you're gonna feel welcomed and have a great time.
I'd love to try number 11.
We rinse the glass so the beer pours very nicely when it hits that side end. I'm gonna try to do this pour as perfectly as possible. This is the Pier 57. So it was thought that the oldest brewery in the world was based in Germany, up until they found the oldest functioning brewery ruins in Egypt. Africa is the birthplace of everything, most importantly beer. Beer was not invented, it was discovered. Remember that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
There's light orange peel notes in this one.
Ooh, yeah.
No, I read that. I didn't know.
I was gonna say, I was like, wow, how did you?
I read that up there.
I was gonna say, how did you know that?
Of all the videos I've shot in a really long time, I cannot say I have felt this much hospitality from the owners. Wow. Do you think that's something that's unique to Harlem?
You think about the Harlem Renaissance, you think about Southern hospitality. You know, people have preconceived concepts of Harlem, but once they come to Harlem personally, they see that Harlem is a pretty friendly place.
Great food.
Great food, great drinks. Harlem got everything that you could ever want.
This is definitely a neighborhood that I think too many tourists sleep on for the wrong reasons. It's getting harder and harder in New York City to find cheap eats. Today we're gonna show you 3 new spots that are perfect when you're on a budget. Do you think it's easy to find cheap eats in New York City?
It's definitely a lot of searching and a lot of digging, because they're not just like out in the open.
You can find cheap eats at sit-down spots. You just have to get a little bit clever about it. Normally, when you think of Korean fried chicken in New York, you're immediately thinking of K-Town in Midtown Manhattan. This could set a nice precedent down in Chinatown.
I actually had Korean fried chicken last night because I'm staying in K-Town. Super good, so I'm trying to see how it compares.
The wings, 8-piece original. Can we have the sauces on the side? A lot of people think of cheap eats in New York, it's gotta be $5 this, $3 that. Like, you can order something for 14 bucks, share it, and get a really good value too.
Yeah, we're not stuffing ourselves with carbs.
Some would call this healthy.
Dude, this actually came super quick.
Oh yeah. We waited less than 10 minutes.
Not even.
I'm salivating at how crispy that looks and the smell coming, and then we have the 2 flavors waiting for us. What was the honey soy garlic?
Yeah, and then the sweet and spicy.
Super crispy.
Oh, hot.
And hot.
Not gonna lie, I was a little scared at first because it's the sweet and spicy one, but it's very light in spice. So you're not gonna die. It's actually really good though. Kind of has like a Asian barbecue style type of taste.
I have no idea what to expect here. I literally found this on Yelp. I looked up Yelp, newest, hottest locations. This was on there. Tell you what, I'm impressed so far. Crispiness, soy garlic's good. I'm really curious though about the sweet and spicy sauce.
Do it.
I wanna try that. This is a little food porn. That's good. Definitely feeling those barbecue vibes you mentioned,
I just had some of the skin by itself. Even if you don't get any of the sauces, I feel like the breading is very well seasoned.
When word gets out about this place in Chinatown, it's gonna get busy. Come here before it gets too busy. You like what I do in New York, you'll love what she does in Vegas.
When I was thinking about becoming a YouTuber and I was looking for inspiration, I didn't want to watch Vegas stuff because I didn't want to copy anybody. So I watched New York because I love New York, and I would actually watch him. Kind of fangirled when he commented on my videos.
I feel like Jollibee would hate me for liking this, but I did double dip, but I made sure it's the other end.
You're making the rules here, huh?
Instead of, I'd rather say it now than see the comments.
Banned.
There's some of the crunch on this. Much better.
Vegas times 20. Times probably more than that.
I think more than 20.
keep making content that's passionate.
I appreciate it. I try. Thank you so much. All right, blink and you'll miss our next stop. It's pretending to be a food truck, but it's actually a stand.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you didn't even go in?
No.
Oh, okay.
One of the staff told us the reason it looks like this is because there's no food trucks allowed in the Lower East Side. This is as close as they can get. So this is really cool. If you order 3 tacos, you get free chips and salsa.
Ooh.
This is chicken.
Okay.
This is al pastor and beef.
They're not trying to be LA birria, they're not trying to be Mexican birria. They're trying to do like a New York style, a little bit of a Puerto Rican, Dominican twist to it as well.
Usually I'm used to more of a greasier
Yeah.
taco shell, but this is like just a taco shell. I mean, there's not much like grease coming out of it.
Every single birria taco comes with its own consomme. So this is the al pastor consomme. That's the beef one, and there's no animal fat in this. What did he say it was like?
It's like a garlic oil.
Garlic oil, yeah. Oh, I love birria so much. Oh, look at this. I've never had an al pastor birria before, so even the consomme tastes like an al pastor taco. It's like blowing my mind.
It's a little sweet. Mine's a little sweet. It's just like, yeah, very different.
You know, they're really set up in the perfect location. Lower East Side. They're open at night. Could you imagine after a night of drinking coming here? Oh, we're down 5 of these. She wants to drink the al pastor consomme right here. That's how much she likes it.
Right?
She would.
I've been eating birria since I was like a kid, and like we would actually go get birria, take it to the house, and have it for breakfast.
Normally, was it Sundays, right, or Saturdays?
Yeah, Sunday. Well, that's how I grew up. Like
Yeah.
in Tijuana, it's like it was like everybody would go get birria for like Sunday morning breakfast.
A lot of you vegans complain that I'm doing a vegan stuff. I have heard your cries, and I'm here to tell you that you can get vegan birria here. Jackfruit birria even has a vegan birria consomme. Let's see how this is for my vegans out there. You don't gotta be vegan to enjoy this. There's a lot of flavor.
All right, let's get. I'm gonna try it from this side. This taco's huge. Jesus. Okay.
I'm pretty happy. You're like, not bad, New York, not bad.
I think the crispy tortilla complements the fish taco very well.
Shout out to my boy Marco's World NYC for giving me the hot tip on this place. He has one of the best food Instagram TikToks in New York City. Check it out. Every cheap eats adventure needs to end with some dessert. Captain Cookie and the Milkman. What do you think of that name?
I mean, it sounds like there's some superheroes, like it's Batman and Robin.
We're seeing the superhero decor right here. It's pretty cool.
Honestly, I kind of just like the regular chocolate chip. I don't know what it is, but this place like makes me want to have milk along with my cookies.
We kind of have to. 1 chocolate chip, 1 peanut butter, 1 double chocolate chip. These guys have only been open for 3 months, so they don't have like a cult following just yet. Maybe they'll be the next Insomniac Cookies, I don't know.
I feel like this is a place that you're gonna have all the little kids asking their parents to come.
Yeah, for all my little kid viewers out there, tell mom and dad, instead of the cocktail bars, go right here. Cheers.
That's chewy.
Little sugar on top here. See those little pieces?
I think these are some of the softest chocolate chips I've
Really?
ever had on a cookie. Yeah, I want you to try it with
Let me try.
an actual chocolate chip. Here, try that part.
Thank
Ooh,
you
look.
so much. Look at that. Gooey chocolate chips.
The cookie's not even hot and it's like melting in your mouth. Like,
Yeah.
okay?
The real test though is dunking it in some milk. Oh yeah.
I don't know. There's just like this random cookie here on the table that probably doesn't belong to anybody, so I guess I'll try it.
It's supposed to be the camera guys. I don't know where he went though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Holy
good.
schmeasure. That's so much chocolate.
Camera guy's like missing. I might take one more piece. This is so good. It really does like melt in your mouth. Wow.
I just don't think I like the crumbs of cookie in my milk.
Why not?
No, you don't belong in there.
They definitely belong in there. Today, we're only eating New York's most iconic breakfast sandwich, the bacon, egg, and cheese. We'll show you some of the best spots in the city to try it and some interesting variations on the classic. And joining me for this food adventure, two fellow New Yorkers. We've got Ben and Ming from the Bing Buzz. All right, we're starting off the video at Eastway Gourmet, just your typical New York bodega. And Ben, we would call this the working man's breakfast, right?
Working man? Yeah, I think so. I've done a lot of night shifts, and every time I see the sunrise, I just couldn't wait for that bacon, egg, and cheese with an overly sweet coffee.
Beautiful. Let's do it. Some argue it's a bodega if it's 2 aisles and a deli if it's 3.
Oh, morning.
Morning. Could we do 2 bacon, egg, and cheeses on a roll?
Ketchup.
Ketchup, yeah.
Breakfast for champions.
What a start to the day. We've got the classic bacon, egg, and cheese. So we've got bacon, American cheese, I think 2 scrambled eggs inside of a Kaiser roll. It doesn't get much more traditional than this in the city.
I gotta say, they give a generous amount of bacon and the eggs.
And we all added ketchup. I know that's controversial. Tell us in the comments, would you put ketchup on a bacon, egg, and cheese? I say yes, as long as it's on a roll.
I play it safe, that's why I get the ketchup on the side.
This deli's been around for a long time, so let's see how this does. You know, everything is so perfectly balanced in this. I'm telling you, like everything. The amount of bacon, cheese, egg, just right.
Maybe because you brought the camera person in? That's why they hooked you up with so much bacon and eggs?
Yeah.
Because it never had this much bacon, egg, and cheese in one sandwich.
They didn't know we were coming, but yeah, I think they might have gotten a little bit more generous.
This is honestly like 2 sandwich worth of bacon and eggs.
So we can't confirm if they usually give this much bacon, but tell them you saw them on the video. Maybe they'll be nice too.
Yeah, but I'm not complaining though. And the roll is like so nice and soft. And the fact they have so much protein just enhances the sandwich so much more. You never see a bacon, egg, and cheese where the egg and the bacon is thicker than the bread itself.
This is really good. Amazing with ketchup. And John said that he prefers bagels, but I prefer things on a roll. Rolls are easier to eat, smaller, so you get more of the meat inside.
This is actually maybe one of the best bacon, egg, and cheese I've randomly got from a bodega like in a really long time.
I'm telling you, they hooked it up.
Now you're saying this thing is stacked, but it's not on the Aki Wei level where he's got the honey bun and like 50 other things which we've shown in another video before.
I would eat the Aki Wei bacon, egg, and cheese though.
Aki Wei is still #1 for me, but that's indulgent. That's a little crazy. You want to come to New York, get an everyday breakfast? This is it.
It makes you feel badass after eating it, trust me.
I mean, I got to admit, this is also the perfect food, as you said, for somebody in the morning who's working. You just take this and walk and eat it.
I remember those night shifts where I wake up at 4 a.m. As soon as the sunlight peeks in, I'm like, a nice bacon, egg, and cheese, a small coffee, and some sunlight for some extra serotonin. It'll wake me up.
This is easier to walk and eat with than, let's say, a slice of pizza. I did a little research, and the bacon, egg, and cheese originated in the 1800s, and then towards the Industrial Revolution became more popular in the United States. Then 1950s fast food culture became huge in the US. So if you want to do something super American for breakfast, like this is it.
And it's super New York.
Ben, would you say skip the hotel breakfast and order this from a bodega?
100%. Why would you get the continental breakfast? You're in New York.
It's true. Breakfast is one thing in this city that you actually can find pretty cheap. We've got Tompkins Square Bagels, one of the city's best, and one of their 3 locations. Ming, are you in the mood for a unique bacon, egg, and cheese here?
Always, I'm so ready.
All right, let's check this out. It's a Sunday morning, a popular New York bagel spot. Very crowded. It's a conveyor belt of bacon, egg, and cheese right here. I love it.
That's an impressive production line.
Want to get 2 bacon, egg, and cheeses, 1 on a sesame bagel and 1 on a French toast bagel?
You want your bagels toasted?
No, that's it.
Can I have your name to order?
John. Thank you. All right, Ming, I don't know if you can handle this.
Oh, wow, it's like 50 pounds.
Insider tip, head over to Union Square after Tompkins Square Bagels. Nice spot to enjoy. 2 bacon, egg, and cheeses on a sesame bagel and a French toast bagel. Sesame's my classic choice. You ever had a French toast bagel before?
First time trying French toast bagel. I usually get the everything bagel with lox, so this is different.
Very different, but every bagel shop in the city, you can get a bacon, egg, and cheese. This is my preferred method of eating this. Let's try it out.
Cheers.
Cheers. Even though this has less bacon than the last spot, I think they gave my bacon to Ming. This is fantastic. I love their bagels so much. Definitely one of my top 5 in the city. Nice and fluffy, don't think you need it toasted. And then the generous portion of egg and cheese on top of the salty bacon. I mean, this is a great breakfast sandwich as far as I'm concerned.
Mine is sweet and salty and soft and warm. It's really good.
Do you like that mix of the sweet and the salty at the same time? How does that work for you?
I'm a sweet girl, but also I love salty. So this is great. I get everything.
And something interesting about Tompkins Square Bagels is they're really well known throughout the city for their wild flavors. We've had birthday cake bagels before there. They've got rainbow bagels. If you can think of it with the cream cheeses, they have a lot of funky stuff. So if you find something like this boring, you've got to check out Tompkins Square. But for a bacon, egg, and cheese, this is tough to go wrong. This is more filling, I'll say.
Oh, for sure.
This is gonna fill you up for the whole morning if you do it with a bagel. You wanna try bagel in New York, and you wanna have like a full breakfast, bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel, 2 birds with 1 stone.
That's true. New York, New York. New York times New York.
The bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll, that was breakfast, but this one is brunch.
You're right, you got French toast. You got all your main brunch ingredients in one.
It's really hearty. It's always reassuring when you get the bagel from the right places too.
It's so true. What do you think of the French toast flavor, by the way? You ever had something like that before?
Honestly, I prefer the regular bacon, egg, and cheese on the roll.
Yeah, the bagel is fuller, it's heavier flavor. It does overpower a little bit the bacon, egg, and cheese, I will say, but for someone like me who's a bagel lover, this is the way I prefer to do it. But, you know, to each their own.
You do have to work for it.
Yeah, you gotta work for it a little bit.
It's a lot of biting.
Guys, by the way, if you enjoy watching Ben and Ming as much as I enjoy having them on the channel, check out their YouTube. They do food adventures just like this all the time in New York. Subscribe down below. Yeah, I want to get 2 of the Chinatown egg and cheese sandwiches, both with bacon. We've got Golden Diner, which is a social media sensation. We couldn't even get a reservation at this spot, so we're taking this super unique bacon, egg, and cheese to go. What are you thinking about this?
You know, we're fans of Chinese food, we're fans of bacon, egg, and cheese, but I honestly don't know what's expected in this one.
Let's show you the inside of this place. It's really interesting. What vibes you get?
It's very lively diner, but also a little Asian fusion vibe.
That looks like a burger.
We got the Chinatown egg and cheese sandwich with bacon, 17 bucks. Soft scrambled eggs, American cheese, a hash brown patty served on a sesame scallion milk bun. Oh, that's a lot of egg.
It's a big boy right here.
This is definitely the biggest bacon, egg, and cheese of the day, and probably the prettiest one as well.
Yeah, that's a lot of fluffy eggs.
I've got to give them credit on the eggs. Like, a lot of attention went into this.
It's also $17, John. It costs 5 times as much as a regular bacon, egg, and cheese.
What does the Aki Way bacon, egg, and cheese cost? About 17 bucks now as well. This is tied for the most expensive bacon, egg, and cheese in the city, I think. But will it live up to the hype? I mean, they told me 2-hour waits on weekends for brunch. I don't know if I'd wait 2 hours. Make a reservation if you want to come here. All right, let's take a bite and we'll discuss what we got going on here. Ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it. This is just bringing like different textures and flavors to the mix that you don't think about with a Bodega bacon, egg, and cheese, like how soft the milk bun is, the hash brown on top, which, you know, this is different. There was no hash brown on anything else. Even the eggs being super fluffy, this is incredible.
I know it's a bad comparison, but I do like putting hash brown in my McDonald's McGriddle. So this kind of makes me think of it a little bit.
This is gonna sound crazy. Do you think this is too decadent for bacon, egg, and cheese?
Yes and no. I wouldn't mind it at all, actually.
If I'm waiting 2 hours inside at this diner, I think I would order this.
And the scallion taste is actually pretty pungent, pretty strong, in a good way.
Yeah, no, it's all super balanced.
Yeah.
And apparently they pick up these milk buns fresh every single day from a Chinatown bakery.
Yeah. Usually sweetness wouldn't be a part of your bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, but the bun itself has a hint of sweetness to it, which is really good.
Actually, probably less sweet than the French toast bagel too.
Actually, that's true. Usually a roll is just carbs you add to your bacon, egg, and cheese, but this one is something you should really enjoy.
What do you think about the idea behind this? Like a fusion Chinese, Asian diner? Like, diners are dying out in the city.
I think this is probably a right way to do it.
This is a way to get young people interested in diners again.
Exactly. Hip new restaurants and pop-up shops. Courtside fire escape, scallion pancake wrap burrito. It's like all very unique, innovative ideas around food. So I think this is the way to go.
It's more popular for brunch to order avocado toast. I think this is a unique way to bring bacon, egg, and cheese back into the picture at a diner.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too proud of myself eating an avocado toast in the public, but this one you can be eating proudly.
Nobody wants to watch that video. We're not making that video. That's too healthy for this channel. I just feel like they've elevated most of the basic ingredients.
Drop $1 worth of egg.
I just dropped $1 worth of egg right there. We talk about trends. I think this is a trend in New York, just elevating basic food items and turning them into something like this.
I eat this every day if I win the lottery. Oh,
Wow.
dropped another $2.
Oh my God.
Look.
This is delicious. I love the hash browns. It's delicious. Eggs are so fluffy. This is really good.
Would you pay 17 bucks for it though? Is it that good?
I would pay for it, But I'd never wait 2 hours for it.
I would pay for this if I had a reservation and we were eating indoors. I just think this is too nice to walk and eat on the street because every little egg you drop is a buck right there. So yes, I would definitely pay for this inside. This is by far the tastiest bacon, egg, and cheese of the day, but it's also no contest because of the ingredients.
Yeah, the hash brown really elevates it so much. Love it. Crunchy, and then the eggs are soft, and you don't need ketchup for this.
No, you definitely do not need ketchup. What do you think about that with New York, that you could find like every type of bacon, egg, and cheese imaginable? We went from bodega to bagel spot to expensive diner action.
Oh, we're blessed.
New York's the best. I love New York.
You know what could make this one better? Be right back.
What?
This, John.
Yo, that's what I
Oh, this was the missing link here. Not a coffee in Arizona. Amazing.
I'm gonna enjoy this with the rest of the sandwich.
Yeah, it might just be the ultimate New York City brunch. $17 bacon, egg, and cheese, 99-cent Arizona.
Averages out.
Today we'll be chowing down at 3 New York eateries that are absolute institutions in the city and have been around for a combined 242 years. Visit these while you still can, trust me. I've got Greg, my New York food insider. There's diners, and then there's B&H.
Yeah, this is an old school gem. Just really like, you can only really find this spot in New York. Old school lunch counter. I'm a sucker for old school places like this growing up in New York, and there's not many of these left.
What's your cup?
The old school vibe here. This is like bringing me back.
Only in New York. This narrow, only in New York.
Stools, counter.
Love it.
I think B&H is like the last place of the kosher vegetarian in the East Village, and I think in Manhattan. So with homemade cooking, Eastern Europe food, we prepare the food every day, so it tastes delicious.
Cold outside, warm in here, some hearty soup.
No better on a cold, gray, dreary day than some hot soup.
You eat the soup? Okay, I check.
You know, I'll be honest, growing up, I didn't always love matzo ball soup. Had I have grown up eating matzo ball soup this good, I think I actually would have liked it more. In front of me right now is like a who's who of Jewish food for people that aren't Jewish and maybe don't live in the New York area. We've got challah French toast, we've got matzo ball soup, we've got a latke, we've got stuffed cabbage, fried pierogi, Greg's got the borscht. If you never grew up with Jewish friends, just come here, order all this food, you can catch up.
Yeah, it feels like we're at home here, but this like, just a whole different vibe. I love it.
Oh, stuffed cabbage is phenomenal. Tastes homemade. Fried pierogi. I'll put their pierogies up there with some of the best of Greenpoint. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I like these. There's something about the food here in general, I'll say, is that nothing here is too sweet, too salty, too overpowering. It's just like very home cooking taste, very fresh. Just I love it. Just you could taste the love and care they put into the food here.
I think love and care is the right word. We saw their calendar with their customers here. This is a restaurant where if you've been here once, they'll probably remember you.
This is the rabbi daughter.
Nice.
I don't know this person.
The aroma of this challah French toast is killing me right now. I smell that cinnamon, pour some syrup on top. It looks absolutely phenomenal. Their challah, they make it in-house here. They're very famous for it. They're slinging challah around all over the place. It might hit you in the head. Got a nice eggy flavor, a bit of cinnamon. Not too sweet, so it's actually good to add a little bit of syrup for some sweetness. I love it, very fresh made.
Something about the challah bread that when you convert it to French toast form, so soft, just amazing. Now you might be wondering, why do they call this B&H Dairy? Places like this popped up in the early 20th century in this part of New York because they were cheap and filling for Jewish immigrants looking to eat out according to kosher law. So by keeping milk and meat strictly separated with fish, eggs, and vegetables as neutral go-betweens. So every single thing here is vegetarian. This is the kind of place that I'm honestly shocked does not always have a line out the door.
I think you're not gonna find a place like this anywhere else. The food is delicious and just the vibe. You come for the food, you stay for the vibe.
Oh, you definitely stay for the vibe. You become part of the place eating here. It's chaotic in the best possible way. Greg, I have to say the Yonah Schimmel sign is one of my favorites in New York City.
Couldn't agree more. I love old school signs like this. You can see the wear and tear of the paint, but it still just looks beautiful.
And it doesn't get much older than Yonah Schimmel since 1910. Oh, this place hasn't changed at all. Every time I come here, like stepping into something comfortable.
Yonah Shimel Knish is the first knishery that came to United States. It's a granddaddy of all knishes. So if you haven't had Yonah Shimel Knish, you really never had a knish. And what I say, it's one world, one taste, one knish.
I'll do one potato, go old school. Greg, what are you thinking?
Oh man, one spinach.
Okay. And we've got 14 different flavors. We're feeling adventurous. And we got mustard too?
Perfect, thank you so much.
Sure.
Now, if you've never had a knish before, a knish consists primarily of potato, onion, and seasoning filling wrapped with a thin layer of dough that is baked, never fried, popularized in North America by Jewish immigrants. The great thing about a place like Yonah Shimel is you're coming to the inventor of the knish, one of the oldest remaining eateries in all of New York City. That's tough to find anywhere.
Oh yeah, I mean, these are the places you really have to cherish and treasure when you come and visit, and as a local and a native like myself.
Here we go. Words cannot describe how satisfying and comforting a bite of a fresh knish from Yonah Shimel is.
Oh man, so good. I love that it's very light on the outside and it's so soft, mushy inside. I got mine with spinach. I like it. There's a little bit of a earthiness to it and a little extra vegetable. Why not?
I'm actually a fan of the classic potato one. They have so many different flavors that you can go with. I do want to grab some mustard though. That's kind of a must here. Don't forget the spicy brown mustard. Now a little mustard added. So pillowy. And this is the same kind of mustard that you would put on a hot dog. Now, for many years, we're talking about 100 years, you would get your knish with a hot dog. But in 1996, Rudy Giuliani made it very difficult for hot dog vendors to sell knishes. So now, you pretty much have to go to spots like this. And Yonah Shimel's the last one left in Manhattan. Queens has at least one, right?
Yeah, there's Knish Notch in Forest Hills. Good spot. I actually regretfully used to eat those mass-produced knishes as a kid. I loved them, but over time, I really grew more of an appreciation for these, the classic OG, and I love it.
I love that family owned. They got their kids working there. Celebrities come in. Everyday Joes like us come in. You should definitely come in because these are absolutely delicious. Just make sure to ask for a fresh one, warm, unbelievable. Never had a bad experience here. Came here like 10 years ago for the first time on a food tour. Never forgot it.
Best knish I ever had.
By far, hands down. And $4.75 for a knish, pretty cheap. And we've covered them in so many other videos, but right on Houston Street, 2 blocks away, you've got Russ and Daughter's appetizing store and Katz's Deli. So if you want to add to this theme, just walk down the street.
I'll try it with the mustard. I can't tell if it's like a meal, a dessert, a snack. It tastes good. It almost tastes like rice, that's probably why.
If you're watching this and planning on visiting New York soon, you've got to take Greg's street food tour. If you love going to insider locations, old school spots, you want to eat like the locals do, check out his food tour, link down below in the description. You won't regret it. Greg, there are certain celebrities that we'll call New York celebrities, and Ray is definitely one of them.
Absolutely. He's one of the ultimate New York characters and a real sweetheart.
It's actually the first time I've ever been to Ray's before, and it totally lives up to the hype. This is like a kid's dream come true with all the ice cream, candy everywhere. Wow.
This spot is old school New York to the core.
I want you guys to come to my store. I need more business. I'm here from 9 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the morning. So please come here, my store, otherwise I'm gonna quit.
Could we do 3 egg creams? And then could we do 1 order of the fried Oreo? All right, for Greg, for anyone who's not from the New York area, tell them what's in an egg cream.
Okay, there's no egg, no cream. It's milk, typically chocolate syrup, but we have chocolate and vanilla and seltzer. So to me, it reminds me a lot of like a sparkling chocolate milk, if I can really describe it to anybody.
Let's try.
Very refreshing.
You know, I used to work at this cafe in Ridgewood, New Jersey. I would make egg creams. These blow my egg creams away. This is the best egg cream I've ever had, actually, by far. This is one of those New York spots I'm thinking like, I've lived here 11 years, I've never walked in these doors, and it's open 24 hours. I used to go out around here all the time, like shame on me.
I remember it was the time we walked in here and we met Ray, and he was talking about how, you know, even though his prices are going up, he really does not want to raise his prices. He was forced to, but like very slowly. He was like, I don't want to raise my prices. He tries to keep prices as low as possible. He really is a neighborhood spot. He wants people to be able to afford everything he's got.
Actually, and he just turned 90 years old. We have the mural on camera a few blocks away. And everything in here is like stepping back in time, including that old cash register right there. Man, look at that. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So after the egg cream, fried Oreo is the other most famous thing here, right?
Oh yeah, these are a must.
Never tried it here before. Let's go. You know, this originally started as like, I believe, county fair food. It's like amusement park food.
Yeah, now this is maybe one of the most sinful bites you will ever eat in New York City right here. And somehow it doesn't feel as heavy as you might think. Though it certainly is, but.
I think a spot like Ray's is a reminder that it's okay to be a kid sometimes. It's okay to get an egg cream, milkshake, sundae, fried Oreos. You earned it.
The best in the Lower East Side. Forever.
New York has many iconic places to eat, but are they actually worth it? Today we'll take you to some Big Apple classics and see whether or not they live up to the hype and if you should skip them or not. Here we go. I got Mike here, born and raised New Yorker, and we're starting this journey at Russ and Daughters, and this is pretty much as famous as it gets for a New York bagel and New York appetizing store.
Yeah, this may be the oldest bagel shop in New York. 190, classic New York.
This is on a lot of tourists and locals' radar, and we're gonna see if it lives up to that hype right now. Let's get in there.
Let's go.
I think this is the first time I have not seen a line down the block here.
How do you feel walking into Russ and Daughters?
You know, this is like what I grew up in. Like stores looked like this, they felt like this. You don't see much of it anymore.
No, appetizing stores are a dying thing in this city. I think this is a throwback, just seeing all the fresh fish that you can buy right here, appetizing items here. And amazingly, it's mostly young people in here. That's what impresses me the most. A lot of young people.
They know better.
They do. I get 2 classic bagel and lox. I want to do everything bagel with scallion cream cheese. Gotta get the Nova. That's it. All right, we got our prize right here. Heavy bagels. We got the classic right here, $17. This may be one of New York's most expensive bagels, okay? We got Nova salmon, we got scallion cream cheese, we got it on an everything bagel. We'll give you your half. You told me you've actually never done the Nova before.
No, never the Nova. So.
All right, well, first time for you and 50th time for me.
There you go.
Let's try this. I love the Nova salmon smoky flavor. Different than your typical belly lox, which is a lot saltier. I love coming here. I mean, I kind of knew my answer before I even took the first bite, but I want to know what you think.
I think you can get a lot better bagel in New York. The bagel as itself is one area they could do a lot better. Flavor's great. Bagel.
They don't make their bagels fresh here. This is my favorite lox, not my favorite bagel spot. Now imagine you combined Absolute Bagels or Utopia Bagels with this Nova salmon. It'd be like an Avengers level bagel.
You go one place to get the bagel.
Yeah.
You go one place to get the cream cheese.
Yeah.
You go one place to get the Nova, and then you put it all together in your kitchen.
It won't come cheap. Like, we saw some of their options in there. You can get caviar cream cheese. You could make the most expensive bagel in New York just going in there if you wanted. You want to get like old school Jewish stuff? This is what the Lower East Side used to be like 100 years ago. They were full of places like Russ and Daughters. Yeah. And now this is one of the last ones standing. That's why I think you have to come here. I'm gonna say worth it, even though it's expensive, because this Nova salmon's fantastic and this place has a lot of history. What do you think?
I'm gonna be on the not side.
Just because you're saying without a really good bagel, this doesn't work for you.
I'm saying this is halfway there.
Okay.
So like to be an absolute come try, like halfway there doesn't get it for me.
I'm still gonna stand by my rating because coming to Russ and Daughters, you're here for the appetizing stuff, you're here for the fish, you're not here for the bagels. Bagels are just the medium, not the message, okay? The message is the fish.
Good. Great would be an amazing bagel. That would be great.
You know, I'm gonna throw you on the spot. A block away, Katz's, what do you think?
Trash. Whoa! That may be one of the most overrated places in all of New York City.
I actually do think that Katz's is overrated. I don't think it's trash. I don't think it's a bad pastrami sandwich. I just don't know if it's worth all the hype. Other spots debatable, but Katz's, I'm a Sarge's fan. I've always said it, Sarge's still my top pick. Mike, I think when you ask most tourists, they're gonna say Nathan's is the go-to for a hot dog. But you talk to locals and Gray's Papaya is always in the conversation.
Absolutely. For decades and decades, it's been an institution here in New York. We were talking about earlier how we used to go there coming out of clubs at 4 o'clock in the morning. This is now the last surviving location.
Let's check this out.
Let's go.
Places like this never change. The prints, the tropical vibes.
I'm gonna buy a t-shirt today. I didn't realize they sell t-shirts. See, that's the other thing, is I was here the other day, somebody was ordering breakfast. I was like, breakfast?
You could do breakfast here,
Yeah.
Only for a very short window.
Yeah?
One just with ketchup, one with onion, mustard, sauerkraut, 2 papaya drinks. Nicholas Gray opened Gray's Papaya in 1973. This is not the first of the tropical hot dog chains of New York. Actually, Papaya King's been around way longer.
I still like Gray's better.
Okay.
Not much different.
Honestly,
Similar
they're
shit.
so similar. Show people what you got.
So I got your basic with ketchup. I know this is gonna drive the internet crazy, but what I like.
All right, internet, if you got a problem with Mike's order, feel free to say something. I went maybe a little more classic New York. I got onion, mustard, sauerkraut. Can't go wrong with either of this. All right, let's take a bite of this. Here we go, man.
Yeah.
Man, this tastes the same always to me, like nice snap, any time of day. This is great, I don't know. I'm just such a fan of Gray's Papaya, and then topped off with a tropical drink, the papaya. This has been around for 50 years, I think for a good reason. How's yours? Man, oh my.
I love it. I love it.
Clearly love it, man. You're almost done.
Almost done. One more bite.
How many bites could you finish that in? 2? 3?
Probably 3.
What do you like about the hot dogs here?
It's been the same quality. Even when they had multiple locations across the city, it was always the same, regardless of which one you went in. And even now, it's still the same thing. It's a lot more expensive.
What do you think about that, like comparing Gray's to a street hot dog? We're gonna get viewers who wanna do either or.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's people that eat dollar pizza. I don't recommend it. Take yourself on the subway, right up here. Literally, the subway's right there. And come get the best hot dog in New York City.
So for you, this is the best, is absolute.
Oh, not even close.
I actually do have a hot dog I like better. I like Billy's hot dog stand next to Central Park. I've covered him in quite a few videos. Not a huge difference, but the experience is different. Like, come here for like the tropical, you know, kitschy vibe, local New York. Go to Billy's, you want to talk to a local who's been there forever, you want to have a little conversation. So here's a question for you. Gray's Papaya, worth it or not?
Oh, absolutely. No question. Don't come to New York and not come here.
I'm going to agree. I think hot dog is a hot dog, but going to Gray's Papaya, definitely an experience, especially for a first-time New Yorker. Great location here, as he said, 72nd Street, not expensive. Get a papaya drink, get a t-shirt. Can you show us that t-shirt,
Oh man, yeah. Oh look, the best hot dog over 100 million served. I agree.
That's the kind of shirt you can see selling for 50 bucks at some thrift store too.
We should do that. We should get some t-shirts, bring them to California, and sell them in thrift shops.
For the record, this is the first and the last Gray's Papaya in New York. They closed the one that was in the Village for a long time. And Mike, you said you used to go there late night?
I'm highly, highly upset about the fact that it is not open, because there has not been one successful business in that location since this place closed. Stand up. But I used to do that every night. That would be late night. The recession special, 2 hot dogs and a drink were under $2. Hot dogs were 50 cents. Amazing.
Absolute Bagels, as old school as they come, just an icon here in Upper Manhattan.
Oh yeah, this is the Upper West Side staple right here. One of the best bagel shops in the city, I'll say, along with Utopia.
An important note, bring your cash only.
I love it. It's like the old school, like Chinese takeout style menu. I love it.
Usually the line here is around the block. You come around on a Saturday or Sunday, be prepared to wait for an hour with a bunch of Columbia students.
Oh, they charge you 10 cents for toasting?
We're not toasting.
No, I never toast.
What do you say? I never think you have to toast a good bagel.
I never toast either. What I like is I see a lot of the everything bagel seasoning on this, really coated on the bagel. They don't look too puffy as well. They look great. About 1 everything bagel with veggie cream cheese, please. 3 Thai teas also, please, small. Thank you. So even while ordering the bagels, I see them hand rolling them up in the back over there. I see the big kettle to boil them too. Right in front of us. It's cool to watch.
There's not too many bagel spots where you order a Thai iced tea, and you're gonna find out why shortly. Oh, perfect for summer.
It's the spot.
All right, got our drink, got some bagels, let's rock. We got the everything with vegetable cream cheese. I'm getting kind of similar vibes actually to Utopia. Not so dense, not so big. What do you see?
Yeah, not so dense here. It's like a little thinner. Some of these bagels can be very puffy. This one looks just nice as far as size.
So how many times have you been here? This is my second trip.
I think this might be my third or fourth time here.
Absolutely was blown away by this, but let's see how it tastes the second time around. Very chewy, very crispy on the outside. This is solid. This is as good as I remember.
Yeah.
You?
Very good. It's like a nice chew, not so dense and heavy. Nice coating with everything spice on the outside. I do like that.
Something else I like about Absolute is a location here. We're right under Morningside Heights. You don't really see tourists coming here.
Not so much. But this is a place I would really recommend for anyone in Manhattan who wants a really good bagel. It's worth taking the trip because also it's a nice neighborhood, very scenic.
Now remember I mentioned the Thai iced tea. Interesting fact, the owner is from Thailand. His name is Sam Thongkring, and in 1990, he moved from Bangkok to New York City. He actually used to work at Essa Bagel. So I think a lot of the staff here is Thai, and because of that, well, you've been to Thailand recently. How does the Thai iced tea rank for you?
I'll say this one is not too sweet. You really taste the tea. It's not as heavy on the milk, and I think it pairs really well with the more salty, savory bagel.
I mean, that's just New York City right there.
Yeah.
You have someone from Thailand who is running what was traditionally a Jewish business with bagels. I would say a lot of bagel shops right now are not owned by Jewish people, Greek people. People of all ethnicities in New York make bagels.
Yeah, it's like pizza too. Pizza from all different backgrounds, Albanian, Mexican, you name it.
We got Essa Bagel, and I think this is the most well-known bagel spot to tourists and people who aren't from New York. This is the original location, opened in 1976 here in Gramercy.
Yeah, they have multiple locations throughout the city. I used to work nearby one. Very solid bagel. Makes you think of like Joe's Pizza as far as like recognizability for a New York iconic food, like bagels or pizza.
Definitely an icon, I agree. All right, well, we're going to the original. Let's see. Hey, everything scallion? Yeah. Thank you. That was quick, bro.
Yeah.
Ready to rock. Thank you. Thank you. You too. You can see how far these bagels have traveled on this map, like where they're shipping them out, I guess, with Goldbelly. And as Greg noted, Florida has the most people. Oh my, it's like the whole state is full of orders.
All the snowbirds.
You know what I notice immediately is just how much heavier one bagel is. Like one from Essa feels like two from Absolute or Utopia.
Yeah, a little workout.
Greg, did you know that Essa Bagel in Yiddish and German means eat a bagel?
I did hear that once before, yeah.
Hence the name. Yeah, playing off the Jewish background of the New York City bagel, because that is where the bagel originated from. Jews from Poland came to New York City at the turn of the 20th century. And you know, when I think of like the stereotypical New York bagel, I'm thinking of an Essa Bagel. It's fat like this, and it has 3 pounds of cream cheese.
I love the coating of the everything bagel seasoning on the bottom. Oddly, on the top is not so much, but here it's covered, and I love that on everything bagels. Very puffy as compared to the first 2 stops, but it looks good.
All right, let's rock. Let's try this. Definitely a lot softer and doughier than the other 2 bagels we had.
No, everything bagel seasoning is a little more on the salty side here, though there is a lot of it. I do like that. I do like the chewiness and a bit doughy, but I'm really more into the lighter bagel, I would say.
Yeah, I think this is like more what you're typically gonna find in New York, this style of bagel, again, especially with this much cream cheese, if you don't say anything, but I think it's perfectly fine. This was the first bagel you ever had in the city, and for a lot of people it is. I've been to the Midtown location, and the line was insane. This is the original. We came in the afternoon on a Monday, so not that many people, but you know, they get a lot of return business for a reason.
They definitely are in like Midtown area down here. They're a very solid option, I would say.
I don't know if I'm getting the same reaction to the Utopia or the Absolute Bagel, which just completely stood out for me as far as just like your classic bagel. But I do think this stands by itself. I do think this is solid.
It's definitely famous for a reason. I think it's quite good. I think it really depends. If you like bigger, fluffier, like a little doughier bagel, it's just probably your kind of spot. But it's quite good.
I think half of this could fill me up, like really.
It's massive.
The thing is, Absolute and Utopia really aren't in touristy areas, so you're probably more likely to come to Essa Bagel.
Yeah, Those are more, I would say, destination spots. This is more like a very convenient, very solid bagel you can get in New York.
If you're visiting New York and you want one of the best local street food tours in the city, check out Greg's tour. We're gonna put the information down below. I send so many of my viewers to him and they always have an amazing time.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see you on the tour. Please come join us.
Tompkins Square Bagels, opened in 2011, named after Tompkins Square Park, just 1 block away. And I would say this is the hipster choice. This is the really popular East Village option.
Yeah, all over social media, you definitely see the rainbow bagel. They're very famous for that. And a lot of other sweet bagels and other funky combos. Probably the funkiest bagels we'll eat today.
33 different types of cream cheeses. That's where we'll start. You'll see the rest.
Oh, it's big.
Definitely feel like we're in the East Village.
Yeah.
Hi, we're looking for Frank.
Yes, we all are. My name is Frank Russo. I am the district manager for Tompkins Square Bagels. We have about 33 to 40 different spreads. We created a lot of these just from trends, comments, people wanted different things, and we came up with our own recipes. All the cream cheeses here are made in-house.
My men aren't deli guys. They're food stylists. They're sandwich artists. They just don't make it, they create it.
I'm curious, you ever have people who look at these flavors then like, no, you can't put this kind of sweet stuff on a bagel like they're traditionalists. What do you say to them?
They don't know the kids at NYU. They're old timers. They like their old cream cheese and lox. That's it. No, nothing else.
You know your audience.
Yes. Yeah. The people that come here are the ones that really love the bagels and the actual oddball stuff that we serve.
Okay.
One of our classic favorites. It's the French toast bagel with birthday cake cream cheese. Now, the birthday cake cream cheese is basically like a sweet cream with funfetti sprinkles. Plain bagel with walnut raisin cream cheese, chocolate chip cookie dough, and on a French toast bagel.
Growing up in Fair Lawn, New Jersey, I think I would have been really interested in trying bagels like this as a kid. Now, he was telling us that the NYU students are in love with these wild bagels. French toast with birthday cake cream cheese. You got the
cookie dough, chocolate chip cookie dough cream cheese.
So this is completely putting some of those flavors we had like on their sides right now. We're going from very savory to very sweet.
Go from very traditional to very non-traditional. And I'm here for it. You know, Pamey is one of the people who's more of a skeptic initially, but seeing it and smelling it, I'm actually very excited.
Let's give it a go. Desserty. That would be the first words that come to mind. Like, serve this at a party afterwards, I don't know. Even for breakfast, if you're looking for something sweeter, the birthday cake cream cheese, it's sweet, but it's not like overly sugary. It literally tastes like I'm just taking little pieces of a birthday cake. You're taking off the layer, the cream.
And this French toast bagel, I know he said it's brioche. I really taste that. I taste a bit of the cinnamon in here. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool riff on like a French toast breakfast, but in bagel form. The bagel itself is quite billowy, soft. I really like it. I think it pairs really nice with the sweet cream cheese. I'll say it's probably the first sweet bagel cream cheese combo I've ever tasted that I enjoyed.
What's wild to me is comparing this to Absolute Bagels, like almost old school as they come, and then they have these flavors here and these cream cheeses. Do you think that people's tastes are beginning to change?
Yeah, I think it's in general. I think people are getting more creative with, you know, like sandwiches. You have these places that do crazy, customizable, like Akiway.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I think now it's just kind of like very creative, even with pizza. Like a lot of foods are getting much more creative. I think because people are more adventurous, more willing to step out of their comfort zones when it comes to traditional foods.
I think Tompkins Square was the first one to do the French toast bagel, and this was before Instagram. This is before TikTok. This is before these things really blew up. Who would you tell to come here?
Someone who loves dessert. I mean, we haven't really tried the savory. We had a lot of savory today, but if you want to try something really unique and you really like sweets, I would say come here. If you want to go to like a pastry store, you want to try a bagel, but you want to get a little sweetness to it, come here.
Plus, if you're visiting New York City, high chance you're in the East Village at some point. And maybe one person in your group likes really sweet stuff. You can still get all the classics here. They even have a Jersey bagel, Taylor ham and cheese. They have everything here.
I really like the bagel itself. This French toast bagel is really unique. I haven't heard of this before here. Really like the flavor. It's a little subtle cinnamon in there. It's eggy flavor. Very nice.
I had certain expectations for all the spots, especially Utopia and Absolute, but I would say this was the biggest surprise. I did not expect to like this sweet dessert type of bagel as much as I did.
Same here. I'll actually say that Tompkins, this is the first time I've ever been here, and I'm just really shocked in like a pleasant surprise kind of way. Like, I usually don't go for sweet bagels. I'm very much a traditionalist. Like, the funkiest I'll go maybe some Chipotle cream cheese on a bagel because I like that flavor, but I will rock with these sweet ones. I actually tasted a little bit of the espresso cream cheese, which is amazing. If you're a coffee lover, really like that one.
New York City is full of iconic places to eat that you've seen in the movies, TV, or just on your friends' Instagram feeds. But are they all actually worth the hype? Today we'll be visiting New York's most popular tourist eateries to see if they're overrated. This is New York's oldest running deli, established in 1888. It is iconic. 2 different locations, and it also may have New York's most expensive sandwich, the pastrami on rye, 26 bucks. This is pretty much the one spot in New York City you're guaranteed to find a line, like any hour. We've got Greg with me, my food insider, native New Yorker, and Katz is one of the most iconic spots for you, right?
Oh, legendary. One of New York's ultimate institutions. One of my favorites. I love it. It's a very polarizing sandwich. So let's see.
Step all the way down, guys. Everyone gets a ticket. You will need that ticket.
Do not lose this ticket or they'll charge you, I believe, 50 bucks. Forget waiting in line for an observation deck. This is way more fun.
And more delicious. It smells better too.
Can I get 2 pastrami on rye with mustard? 2 root beers, 2 Doc Brown cream sodas. Sneak peek. The pastrami and corned beef here is cured over the course of 30 days, which is much slower than your typical deli. Looking at this sandwich, we've got pastrami that's been brined, dried, seasoned, smoked, and steamed. Then we've got that healthy coat of mustard, creating maybe the most iconic sandwich in New York City history.
I love it. I love the thick cut of pastrami. I love that black bark on the outside. It's so tender. You already get that little taste when you're waiting in line. Oh man.
Been waiting all day for this. I love that smoky flavor. Pastrami is so juicy and this is amazing.
Yeah, the flavor of that meat, so succulent. It reminds you so much of like, it's like a barbecue brisket, just in texture, so tender, juicy, and just like you said, smoky. I love all those flavors. It's as great as it always has been for me.
You know, I've been here a bunch of times. They had no idea I was coming, by the way. I think this is actually the best I've ever had it. Now, insider tip, we left a $5 gratuity for the guy who was cutting the meat for us. I think he put a little extra effort. This is tremendous right now.
And they're really packing in the meat. Look at that meat to bread ratio. It's pretty incredible.
Oh yeah. Since 1869, Doc Brown's. Now, I've had a lot of old-time New Yorkers call me out for not ordering this enough whenever we do videos at delis. And I'm just getting into this. Cream soda here really goes well with that Katz pastrami. So if you want to do it the most traditional way possible, pastrami on rye with mustard and a Doc Brown's cream soda, as New York as it gets. And of course we got the pickles.
Yeah, can't sleep on the pickles.
I feel like the people are enjoying their food so much, you hardly hear any conversations. It is the strangest phenomena. You go to other restaurants in the city, you can barely like hear yourself think. Here, people are eating. You come here to eat, you don't come here to talk.
I just love the old school vibe of this place, the old signs. It's very much a throwback to the LES, old school New York.
I mean, YouTube. Oh, thank you. You guys enjoy it here? Think it's worth it? Maybe, maybe. Now I gotta ask you, 26 bucks, overrated or not?
For 26 bucks, I say no, especially with inflation, the price of beef, I say no. It can feed 2 people or 1 very hungry person. I've done it before, maybe regretfully, but I still say it's worth the 26 bucks. Also, you're paying for the experience, for the history. It's not something you do every day.
I'm gonna have to agree. I think if you're a tourist and you're a big food person, just to come here, have the experience, to order it, to get that sample of the pastrami, once in a lifetime, gotta try it. Definitely worth it. This is the move. You get Joe's, go across the street with your slices, for the whole family.
Yep, I've done it. I like it.
And we're gonna do it.
Yep.
Joe's Pizza, founded 1975. It's a Greenwich Village institution. Most famous probably for being in Spider-Man. Tourists are absolutely obsessed with the place. There's 4 other Joes around New York that are affiliated with this one, and then there's other Joes that aren't affiliated with this one. It just gets confusing, but this is the OG right here. We're not even the only vloggers here, okay? Okay, 4 regular. To go. Thank you. Thank you. Fresh pie, lucky us. I've always been one of those people that thought Joe's was a bit overrated. I've had some good experiences here. I filmed here one time where the cheese was literally like dripping off. It was disgusting. So it looks good today, but this is not my favorite pizza spot at all in New York. Greg is a much bigger fan than me.
Oh yeah, I think Joe's is a great example of a classic New York slice like I grew up with. I've probably been here maybe 20, 30 times, never had a bad experience, and it looks really good today. I'm excited.
Look at that undercarriage, like Antonio, my boy.
Oh,
Pizza Review used to go, likes to show the char.
Nice thin crust, classic.
Even cheese to sauce ratio.
I agree.
All right, let's see what's up. $4.
I think it's excellent.
You know, this is definitely better than the last time I was here, and I agree that this is your, representation of what that gas oven classic New York slice is, but I'm still not a big fan of it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the flavor of the sauce doesn't do it for me, but my experience has not changed. I'm sorry, like for $4, I'm going other places. Like I would rather send you to Patsy's in Harlem, NY Pizza Suprema, right by Penn Station. I'm calling this overrated.
All right, yeah, if you're not gonna love it today, I don't think you ever will. I still don't think it's overrated. Now, $4 is pretty steep, but I mean, everything in the city is getting more expensive. That worth it is a little more debatable, but I still think it's very good. It's one of the top classic New York slices I still say in the city.
Looks like someone didn't like this Joe slice. Someone kind of agrees with you here. Here we go. Yeah, there's nothing about it that stands out from your typical $1.50 slice now. So.
Whoa. I don't think so.
Honestly, if I close my eyes and take a bite of a $1 slice next to this, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Yeah? I'm pissing off Greg today.
You always get a troll.
I want to give Joe's credit for one thing. I lived in the Village during the height of the pandemic, and they were the only pizza place that was still open, the only slice shop. I will never forget that about them, like their commitment to the community. So for that, I think they're absolutely an institution locally. So you probably heard of all the places in this video, your Joe's, your Katz's, but if you want to go on a really cool food tour that I recommend to all my viewers, Greg takes you on a street food tour of Queens to places you've definitely never heard of and you need to hear about. You want that native New Yorker perspective. His tours are the best, link in the description. So as you can see, tourists are really into Magnolia Bakery, which opened right here 1996. And it blew up to fame because of a cameo it had in Sex and the City. They've got 8 stores in New York and 30 around the world, including Saudi Arabia. While they're most famous for their cupcakes, I wanted to show you guys the banana pudding, which I actually think is the reason you come here. Could we get 3 small classic banana puddings? So I had the good fortune of living in Greenwich Village for almost 10 years, and my wife and I definitely would stop by Magnolia Bakery just for this banana pudding. Insider tip, order your banana pudding in advance on their website. It'll just be sitting there waiting for you. You don't even have to spend any time in line. This is one of those really hyped up spots that I think lives up to it, but you've never had the banana pudding,
I never had the banana pudding. Now, my old office, they would always order the cupcakes. I got sick of them. I'm not really that into cupcakes personally, so I'm very curious about the banana pudding.
All right.
Ooh, nice banana aroma for sure.
It looks like ice cream, but it's got a much softer consistency, which you'd expect from something like this. So yeah, give it a try. Let me know what you think. What I like about it, it's not too sweet. It's like just the perfect amount of banana flavor. And you really enjoy that texture of the pudding too.
I think it's pretty good, not terrible. I'm not gonna say overall overrated. Out of all 3 spots, I would say maybe this is the biggest tourist trap in the mall, but I don't think it's necessarily bad.
Okay, this is a nice thing about Two New Yorkers disagreeing on something. I don't think this is overrated, and I think Joe's is way more overrated. Now, their cupcakes, on the other hand, I don't even think Magnolia is the best cupcake in the neighborhood. I think Molly's is better. But when I think of Magnolia, I'm always thinking about this delicious banana pudding. New York's most popular street food is the Halal Cart, and today we're going to be visiting the city's best reviewed halal trucks, all in Midtown Manhattan, to see if they're worth it. Now, you might be wondering, what is halal? It's an Arabic word meaning permissible, and it means it's meat prepared by Islamic law. Now, typically New York halal consists of some combination of rice, greens, and halal meat, either in a foil dish or in a sandwich. First stop, Royal Grill Halal Food, 4.5 stars on Yelp. If I could fly this man to California to live with me and cook me food for the rest of my life, I would. I was in New York for about a week, came here twice, once in the pouring rain and once in the freezing cold. Great food, nice people, underrated, huge portions. Chicken tikka is my go-to. I'll come here whenever I'm in New York. Way better than the overpriced Halal Guys chain food truck that charges $14 for a dry gyro. Wow, we've got some shots fired already on this video. I didn't say it, he said it. Let's check this out. Got my food expert Greg with me, and one of the amazing things about the New York halal scene is it's not all the same. They all have their own personalities, right?
Absolutely. Royal Grill is pretty famous. They won a Vendy Award, which nominates the best street food vendors in the city, and they're known for their chicken tikka. This is a really interesting, delicious dish. Yeah, one chicken tikka.
I don't want to eat this. This looks too pretty to eat. This is like a work of art. All those colors. So what do we got? Break this down for us.
Pretty much everything but the kitchen sink here. We have the chicken tikka, which is a very deep red color. You have the white sauce, which is like the yogurt mayo sauce. A little bit of the hot sauce, the green sauce, which is like a mint chutney, and also this mango pickle, which is a really kind of a secret thing you have to ask him for here. Now, the owner is from Bangladesh, so it has that kind of Bangladeshi flavor in this plate.
All right, let's try it. This tastes like something I would order at a nice Bengali restaurant, not on the side of the street here in New York City. Wow, that first bite, that's a lot of flavor. That's a lot of spices.
Yeah, very punchy spice, and we haven't gotten to the rice yet. The rice here is also very special. Like spicy, creamy, you get that mango pickle, that minty flavor, the biryani flavor. It's got it all, this plate.
Dude, I have to say it. This might be the best rice I've ever had at a halal truck before.
It's up there for me, for sure.
Would you say the Halal Cart in New York is like the taco stand in LA?
I would say yes. I mean, halal carts have really taken over New York, I say in the last 20 to 30 years. It's overtaken the hot dog cart. I would even say it's overtaken pizza as the #1 street food. You know, we want to say pizza is a street food, but I say it's definitely by far #1 street food in New York City.
I just have one problem with this. This is our first stop, and I want to finish it right now. That's the only problem I have with this. This is unreal. This is absolutely tremendous. I'm shocked there wasn't a longer line for this. Quick Meal NYC, 4.5 on Google reviews. New York's exquisite streetcar experience, created by Bengali chef Mohammed Rahman, former Russian tea house chef. The spices are delicate, food is the best. Take your tasty meal for a sunny afternoon at Bryant Park. Once in a lifetime experience. As a native New Yorker, halal carts have become a staple of my diet. I visited halal carts that are terrible, meh, okay, and unforgettable. Quick Meal, unforgettable. Best halal food I've ever had in a while. Whenever I'm in the city, I always come for Quick Meal. Perfect for vegetarians too, and plenty of fish options to choose from. My vegetarian viewers, I'm looking out for you guys too.
So Quick Meal is a little bit more of a higher end halal cart. The price may be $1 or $2 more, but it's for good reason. The quality of the ingredients here. So we're gonna order the lamb over rice here. They actually use marinated pieces of lamb, not the minced mystery meat stuff.
Hello. How are you? How are you?
Hello.
Compared to Royal, Quick Meal is a lot simpler, and look, most of the sauce is actually on the side. So if you're someone that doesn't like a ton of sauce, I think this could appeal to you. All right, let's do it. This is high quality lamb, I can tell.
Absolutely. It doesn't have really bold, punchy flavors,
No.
but I don't think it's meant to. This one's meant to, I think, more showcase the quality of the ingredients.
You know, I would love this in like a gyro or a sandwich too.
Yeah, the white sauce, it's not even your classic white sauce. This is definitely more yogurt. It's more like a tzatziki, like a Greek yogurt. It's thicker, has more of a yogurt. I don't taste any mayo in that.
Yeah, it's not like a really strong flavor.
Yeah, it's very different than your typical halal cart.
This is for like the true meat eater, someone that just wants that lamb. You're gonna get your money's worth with this.
But I'll tell you what, they actually have salmon here, and it's shockingly very, very good.
Probably not something you would normally think of ordering in New York City.
Not typically, no, especially from a cart, but it's very good. The quality here is next level.
What's amazing about today's video is that everything here is right on Avenue of the Americas, 6th Ave in Midtown. So if you're a tourist watching, this is so easy to complete by yourself. But if you want to go more off the beaten path, this guy offers New York's best food tour.
I do in the most delicious neighborhood in New York City in Queens, a food tour. And my favorite halal cart in all of New York City is on that tour. So if you want to taste my favorite overall halal cart, and I've eaten at a lot of them, you can come and take my tour. We'll put the link in the description. We're about to go try the famous halal guys, and when a cart is as famous as halal guys, you have a lot of imitators, like this one, the original guys. Don't go here. If you want to try the halal guys, don't go here. It's very confusing because they even use the same color scheme.
You can see we found the original halal guys by the line. The halal guys, 4.4 on Google. Best food in Manhattan at a great price. You may need to line up and wait to order because all the locals do the same, and they know better than anyone. Oh my God, this was excellent. We got the beef gyro and the combination platter. Loved every bite. The white sauce was special. Guys were great at the cart. Loved it. All right, it's got the hype. We've got the OG of the halal scene in New York City. Halal Guys opened in 1990, and they were actually a hot dog cart originally by 3 Egyptian immigrants. Today, they've got 6 locations in New York City, 94 locations worldwide, with up to 400 more coming. They may be coming to a mall near you. We've actually returned to 6.5 Ave. If you saw my 10 Curious NYC Secrets video, this may look familiar, and it's a cool spot if you want a little hideaway to eat your halal guys. So this is something I don't really like about halal guys is they give you sauce packets. I would much rather they do it themselves because it's part of the experience.
Yeah, I mean, they're very corporate now at this point. They have all the branding on it. Just from the look at this, I say it really does need the sauce. The meat at first glance looks very dry.
I'll be honest, guys, this is my first time ever eating halal guys. I've been waiting years and years to try it. Here we are. All right, let's do it.
There's no flavor in that chicken at all.
You know, I don't dislike the beef with the sauce, with the white sauce and the red sauce. It's not bad. I'm gonna try the chicken. I think you're gonna like the beef a little bit more.
Yeah, the beef is definitely better than the chicken. On its own, but not very good either.
Chicken's not really good. You know, I was thinking of an analogy for this. I'm not the biggest fan of Joe's Pizza for the record, but a lot of people want to go there just to say they've eaten there. I would say going to Halal Guys, if it's on your New York City checklist, go for it.
Yeah.
But it tastes pretty mediocre to me. Like, it's not the worst I've ever had. I just don't think it's worth waiting in a super long line for.
No, this is a worldwide chain now. Even with the sauces, it's still not good. It's very bland to me. I don't like it. I think it's maybe one of the most overrated foods in New York City, I will say. Halal Guys. Maybe in the past it used to be better.
Yeah.
Sometimes the places expand, the quality goes down, but I don't even know. I went here 3 years ago and it tasted just like it did now. So you are gonna get consistency, but not in a good way.
Barr.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Me too.
Good one. Adele's 4.5 on Google reviews. My every week late night dinner, currently the best food in the city for me. Don't even think, just go here. It will be worth it. Normally a typical time to place order, stand in line 30 minutes, but definitely worth it. They work really fast. You know that if there's a line at 11 p.m., it's gotta be good, and the line doesn't lie. The guys working were fast and efficient. The chicken gyro was delicious. The chicken over rice, quite tasty. Same thing over the spicy rice makes it even better. This is my favorite spot, guys. I will say that up front. This has always been my favorite, and now Greg's gonna try it.
I spent at least 40 minutes in this line.
Wow.
It's insane.
It is.
107 people just waiting. It was only down to that pink truck down there.
Huh. That is crazy.
Adele's hasn't even opened yet, and she wants to go right before her flight, right?
Yeah, so we have a flight at like 8 o'clock. It's almost 6 now, and this is our last stop. We gotta get it before we left, so.
Want to do the combo platter spicy rice.
Okay, you like some veggie, some broccoli, carrot?
Yeah. Give us the works. and this is about 5 pounds worth of food. So let's start from the top. They gave us French fries. They gave us falafel. Then we've got veggies, including broccoli here. We've got a mix of chicken and lamb. And if you can get to the bottom somehow, some way, we have their famous spicy rice.
It's actually better to use a spoon, but
This is messy. This is messy food.
That is good.
You know what it is for me? I think their white sauce. It's the best white sauce I've ever had in the city. There's a reason for those long lines, folks. I'm telling you.
I can see it. It's good. It's good. I definitely think it's good.
I just feel like the flavors for Adele's are a little bit more classical New York halal, which is why I would personally put Adele's in my top 5 must-visit food destinations in New York City.
Ooh, I've got a bite of that spicy rice. It's got a lot of flavor. I think it was kind of covered up at a meat.
It's growing on him.
This is very good. I would definitely come back. Ideally not at the end of that line, though.
I say it every time, but right in front of us we have Radio City Music Hall. It's such a cool New York City moment to even be here. I think the evolution of halal carts and how popular they become in New York is really a testament to the diversity of New York, because this was a food that was aimed at Muslim taxi drivers, and now all New Yorkers eat it. Many New Yorkers will tell you this is their favorite street food.
Yeah, and really something for everybody. If you like chicken, if you like lamb, or if you're vegetarian, you can even get it with falafel, and quick meal, you can even get fish. And I do like that they all bring their own kind of spices, maybe depending on the background of the country, you know, Egyptian, Bangladesh, Pakistani, wherever. I appreciate that.
And I mean, let's think of like New York pizza. Every place has their own little take on it, just like halal. And I don't think halal gets enough love from tourists.
No.
Way more from locals. Billy's Hot Dogs. This place is really intriguing. 100 5-star reviews on Google. Best hot dog I've ever had, cooked just right. All the reviews are totally true. Good hot dogs, but especially such a friendly owner. This spot has no social media, no phone number, just a schedule off of Google. I don't even know if this is gonna be here. Come on. All right. So simple. It's so New York. We heard you were the best hot dog cart in New York. You seem very popular around here. I'm seeing the line. I'm gonna send people to you.
My friend. I have so many customers I can't even handle it. The thing we can do is just put over here, help who wanted, no experience necessary to train at the spot.
Deal.
Okay.
We're about to eat hot dogs on a bench next to Central Park. Does it get much more New York than that? So excited.
That was my dream when I came here.
Was it?
It was one of those things as a tourist you want to do because you see it in the movies.
This looks fantastic. Look at this thing. This is the OG street food of New York City, if you think about it. Before halal, before anything else, hot dog. Ready?
All right, let's go.
Let's try it. I think of a hot dog experience in New York City. I'm thinking of this right here. Like nice snap to the dog when you take that bite. Onion sauce adds another layer to the flavor. I think this is what you go for. This is what all the reviews said to get, is the onion sauce. What about you? How you feeling?
Simple but perfect. You don't need much. You like the bone, red sausage, and the fantastic onion sauce.
I almost never see long lines at hot dog stands in New York. We even saw Billy running to a car. Somebody just pulled up, ordered a hot dog. That's how much of like a neighborhood celebrity this guy is. I saw people running over real quick. Everyone has a chat with the guy.
They even have like holiday cars from families probably around the area. That's so cool.
Having that neighborhood guy, be it a hot dog, be it coffee, be it anything, where like he knows what you want and he's got absolutely no attention. He could be the first ones to ever film him, as far as I know. This is a milestone moment. Our baby boy, who's not born yet, just had his first New York City hot dog. Is he kicking?
No, but he will soon. He'll be happy. Only locals know about it, I think. I think if a tourist walks by, they're gonna think it's just one more vendor.
Thank you. That was honestly one of the best hot dogs I've had in my entire life. It was so good. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Today, we're going to explore the Lower East Side of Manhattan and focus on an important part of its history. We'll be taking you on a Jewish food tour at some iconic locations, from Bialys to Bagels and more. Let's get ready to nosh New York City style. Members of the Barrio, I am so pumped to create this video. Being Jewish myself, I really want to learn more about the Jewish history of the Lower East Side. And I've got two New York City experts who are going to take us through this tour. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Hey guys! Hi, thanks for joining, and thanks so much, Barr, for having us on your channel again. This first stop, Moishe's Bake Shop, which is a kosher bakery, is the oldest kosher Jewish bakery still in existence here in the Lower East Side. There used to be many more, but this is the only one left. Hudson, who's
The famous Hudson who's smelling something. There we go, there we go. Oldest kosher bakery left in the Lower East Side. Sounds like a good place to start. Let's get in there, guys.
I mean, I'm definitely going to get a loaf of rye bread because we used to get weekly from Moishe's Bakery, which was their sister bake shop in the East Village on 2nd Avenue. Sadly, it closed, but I'm missing our rye bread because that's what we get every week. This is a little far a walk for us to get every week, so when we're here, we gotta get it. So I'm definitely gonna get the rye bread, and their hamantashins are amazing.
I started when I was a little girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Now I got old here. You shouldn't work here. You get old.
The reveal.
Big reveal, the hamantashen. I just have to say, this hamantashen looks incredible. Growing up, I was used to eating a much smaller version of this, so this is just making me smile right now looking at it. I also got a black and white cookie in here for Adriana
Oh, you
to
gotta
go later.
show it.
Oh, I gotta show it, of course. Let me.
We won't eat it now because Adriana would be very mad at us if we ate her black and white cookie.
This is a really good New York City cookie here, for the record. 2, 3. I just bit right into the apricot. First bite, heaven.
Mine is still cookie because I didn't get to the apricot yet, but even the cookie is so fresh, so delicious. You can see that they're made with love. I mean, you can see that they're hand done. These are all pinched by hand. There's no machine making these.
This is for the holiday of Purim. It was named after Haman, who is the villain in the Torah in the Purim story.
Oh.
Remember that from Hebrew school.
I'm saying this cookie is villainous in an extra good way. It's the rye bread, and it was freshly baked this morning. $4 for this whole entire loaf, and no preservatives, no additives. It's just super fresh, super delicious. Catch.
Oh.
All right.
Stop number 2, guys. We are in front of Kosar's. Now, many of you have heard about the bagel, the most famous Jewish food in New York City. But how many of you have heard of the bialy?
Because it was founded by Morris Kosar, who is from Białystok, Poland. And in fact, the whole word bialy is basically a shortened word from Białystok, because that's where the bialy originated. It's like a big bialy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, can you show us that?
We've never seen anything like that before. Thank
Wow. We gotta get that.
That is not a regular bialy, folks.
Yeah, and it comes with everything.
That's everything inside.
Yeah, everything inside.
All right, guys, we have got both the bialy and the bagel in front of us. This bagel, by the way, is absolutely one of the largest bagels I've ever seen. It barely has a hole in the middle, but we're still gonna call it a bagel. Carla, can you talk more about the differences outside of the obvious in the middle?
Right, besides their obvious appearance, because this bialy has that depressed center full of the onions, because we got the onion bialy. The basic big difference is the ingredients. Like I said, bialy, much simpler. Just flour, water, yeast, and salt. That's it. Very simple. And then because you're adding the onions in the center, it's onions as well. But I mean, you can forego the onions and just do garlic or something like that. But the bagel has malt and sugar. So like when you taste it, you can taste like the sweetness even in a plain bagel, but not the bialy. The bialy, to me, I would say like the dough itself is like the consistency and the taste of like pizza dough if you didn't put sauce or cheese on it. If you just ate the pizza dough, you know, crust or something like that. Here we go.
I haven't had this in a long time.
Going in.
Much thicker than a bagel. Completely tastes like pizza dough. I see that.
You can feel it, right? And then it's airy, but not like the big airiness that's in a in a bagel. And you know, it's not as high, obviously.
It's denser.
Right, it is denser. Definitely. You know, the yeast is making it rise, but it doesn't have that extra added sugar, which I think makes the bagel rise
exactly
higher as well. So because there's no sugar definitely in this one.
I gotta get to the onion part. That's what I've been eyeing.
Yes, I do too, but I'm gonna have to go for a bigger bite than this. Oh, you got to the onion.
I ripped right to it. Look at this thing, guys. I would say the onion's a nice surprise in the middle. I'm a fan of onions. If you like onions, you may like bialys more than bagels. But I will say that I grew up eating bagels all the time in New Jersey, and I'll still take a bagel over a bialy. But if you're visiting New York and you want something very unique, an old school bialy place like this, you are telling me is extremely hard to find. Stop number 3. I've actually been to this place a really long time ago. We're gonna try some kosher pickles. And this is actually something that used to be everywhere on the Lower East Side, and now these are pretty much your only options in the area.
So the people brought over what they knew how to do. They knew how to make pickles. It was an inexpensive item, and it felt like home cooking. The home food store. At that time, it was a nickel for a pickle. New pickle. See how green it is?
Right, so that's kind of like closest it can be to a cucumber.
Yes, it's only been pickled for 1 to 10 days.
Wow.
And after 2 weeks, it turns to a half sour pickle. You see how the color changes? It goes sort of yellow.
Right.
And then the other pickle we saw, the sour pickles, those are 3 months old. And those are the most garlicky and the most dill flavored.
So we're going with the classic. We've been doing classics all day. Sour pickle, super sour, right?
Full sour, this is.
Full sour.
3 weeks curing.
3 weeks for this. Okay, let's do it. So much pickled juice, I would say, in it.
Definitely sour.
So juicy, so sour.
And you heard that snap too when I bit into it, right? It's super crisp, like extra fresh, good.
Really crunchy, oh yeah.
Yes.
This is actually a very popular stop on the Jewish food tours. They have some on the Lower East Side. I took one a long time ago. I have been here before. I think the owner is a character. Definitely stop by this place.
Yeah, like you said, it was 5 cents a pickle. Hey, no, Hudson loves pickles too. And now only $1 a pickle, so it's still a very affordable food.
So you said a pickle for a nickel.
A pickle for a nickel, that's it. Oh, Hudson. Ready? Catch. All right.
Hudson deserves his own channel, I think.
Not too sour, Hudson. What do you think?
Hudson, what do you think?
Stamp of approval? Yeah.
As someone who's Jewish, I find the history of this neighborhood so fascinating. Many Jews who live in the United States can trace back their roots to the Lower East Side. At one point, there was 1.5 million Jews living in this neighborhood, and in fact, between 1900 and 1910, there were more Jews in the Lower East Side than anywhere else in the world. Now it's not like that anymore, but the history remains. Russ and Daughters, we have covered them before. I like them so much, so I thought this video could not be complete without a stop to a very famous spot on the Lower East Side if you're a fan of bagels with lox.
Back in the early 1900s, stores were passed down from like father to son, never to the daughters. But the interesting story is Joel Russ, who founded Russ and Daughters. He had 3 beautiful daughters who worked in the store as teenagers. And he quickly realized that his store became the most popular appetizing store in the early 1900s because people would come in to flirt with his daughters. Like the, little matchmaking going on or whatever it was. And he's like, oh, my daughters are actually big assets to my business. Let me put them on the sign, because before then it was called Joel Russ Cut Rate Appetizer.
time I go to Russ and Daughters, I get the same thing, the classic. It's an everything bagel with scallion cream cheese, Nova Scotia salmon. It's just the traditional best choice, trust me. I'm sure you've had this just as many times or not, if not more than I've had this.
But it doesn't matter because you don't grow tired of a Russ and Daughters, smoked salmon, cream cheese, and everything bagel. I mean, who could ask for anything more?
No.
Okay, let's go
do it.
for
Let's do it. This is what mornings need to taste like. Even though it's the afternoon, this is what a morning in New York should start with.
I agree. I have to have an extra bite. That's how good it is. Extra, extra good.
They do their salmon better than anybody.
Oh, wow.
So
It is-
fresh.
It is. And I want to tell you another quick funny story. Nikki Russ Fenneman, the 4th generation co-owner, told us that her father was never so happy. She actually was a lawyer before she started working at the shop. And she said that her father was more happy when she learned how to smoke, how to slice properly their smoked salmon, like slice it so thin that you could read through it, than when she, graduated from law school and got her Barr degree. That he was more proud of her for that smoked salmon cutting. So
Priorities were in the right place.
exactly.
Midtown Manhattan, the heartbeat of New York City, but not exactly known as being cheap. Today, we're gonna change that. I'm gonna be sharing some of the best lunch specials in the Times Square area, all around $10. You're gonna love this. Here we go. The only thing I'm missing is a co-host. Hey, Ben, you eat lunch?
Lunch? Sure.
The whole area around Rockefeller Center is full of food trucks during the week, during lunchtime, but there's one in particular I want to highlight for $10, a flame grilled steak.
Our price is like offer Thai style. It's like a classic steak that we have a big pieces and we slice the meat for you. All of meat we marinate already.
Thank you so fast. Oh, it's amazing. Thank you.
$10, and it feels like I've got 5 pounds of meat here. We have the steak, lots of mayo on top, French fries, and some veggies on top of a bed of rice. This is a heck of a value for $10 if you have cash. $10. All right, big bite. I can taste the marinade, like I taste it right away. With the mayo on top, the flavor just complements it so well, wow.
This is the basil steak, and I got the spicy mayo. And I see there's some vegetables here too that they added. So I'm gonna give this steak a try. Wow. You know how people say this is my cup of tea? This is my bowl of rice and steak. This is good.
It's amazing because we are standing in the exact same location where Adele's, my favorite halal truck, opens at 6. It's good to know that there is an amazing lunch option in the exact same spot. All right, I think our next stop is this way, but our newborn's about 2 weeks old, so I'm a little sleep deprived. We totally could get lost. This is the kind of place that if you blinked, you would miss it just walking down 51st Street. But a lot of you have mourned the loss of Aquario Cafe, the fabled $5 Midtown lunch special. Well, Zorali has amazing Dominican food, not much more expensive. Let's check it out. Can we just do the beef stew for 10? Yeah, I'd love one of those. It's pouring rain and there's a line out the door for this. The first thing we gotta talk about here is the value for $10. I mean, a lot of beef stew. We've got some plantains, yellow rice, and black beans. I think this could feed 2 people in a lot of cases.
Definitely.
I want to take a big bite here of this beef stew. Take a bite too. Let's try this at the same time. Like melts in my mouth.
Yeah, that sauce. That sauce is really good.
I'm remembering Aquario Cafe. They didn't have seats like this though. We're under a tarp. It's pouring rain and we're sitting outside eating food that I think if you went to a sit-down Latino restaurant, it would be 15, 20 bucks.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I think what impresses me most about this dish is that we have so many different ingredients going on. It's not just beef stew and rice. It's not something simple like that. We've got about 5 different things on top.
All I could think of right now, having this, is just like, everything is genuine, you know?
Yeah.
As real as it could get. All the locals love it.
Oh yeah.
The people in the kitchen are Dominicans, and
even though we're drinking Coco Rico, which is from Puerto Rico, so having a nice Caribbean lunch here, this is just $1 extra. We're like, I don't know, 12 minutes or less by foot to Times Square, and it's a completely different vibe here. And they were super nice in there, by the way. Like everyone there, I think, knew how it worked, what they wanted. The lady explained it to me very calmly, what the lunch specials were. So depending when you come, it could be a different lunch special, but I say go for it.
there's something with just beef stew too, you know? It's just like, it's hot, it's cheap, it hits the spot.
Yeah, beef stew, melts in your mouth. A little bit of a colder day. We're entering the fall right now. Got my medium jacket on for the first time. Yeah, this is perfect. This is a lunch I'm not gonna forget anytime soon.
This might be low-key a local favorites, because it's like, even this van right here, like the people inside, they're probably just on their break, and they're eating the same food from Zorali's.
If you're watching this video, you probably love cheap eats. I've got good news. We just released our newest Manhattan Cheap Eats guide, where I just dump all the info from my channel, the best cheap spots we've ever covered, and more, into one guide. Just by purchasing this guide, you are gonna save a fortune on your trip to New York, knowing where to go to save money. We've got photos, reviews, audio, video, even GPS, so you can see exactly where these restaurants and street food carts are. It's also updated in real time, so when we visit new spots that I think are worth it, I add it to the list, and you get it for free automatically. Check the link down below in the description, 50% off, limited time only. It's amazing how many tourists stop at 8th Ave. They don't go one avenue over to 9th Ave, the beginning of Hell's Kitchen. This whole avenue is full of local restaurants where you'll almost never see tourists. This is one of my favorite restaurants in Midtown. I'm still convinced that Easy Paella has one of the best sit-down lunch specials in all of Midtown.
One of the things that makes Easy Paella different is we serve the paella in an easy way. So if you come here, just sit down, you probably have your paella served within the first 10 minutes. So you don't have to wait 45 minutes for a paella. We have very easy experience to try the best paella in town. Well, lunch specials here are great. We have sangrias, we have burritos, we have lunch-sized paellas, and now we're gonna have arepas.
One of my favorite things about a spot like Easy Paella is like small, family-owned business. This is the lifeblood of the New York City culinary scene. Places like this, love the Venezuelan, Spanish fusion, and Alex said he's not positive, but he believes this is the only paella burrito in the entire world for $9.95 during lunch specials. So you're trying something pretty special here. What really does it for me is how unique it is to have a burrito shell with the paella rice. Never had that before, and somehow it just works out brilliantly. Love the flavor, love the chicken, so much going on. It's like the perfect marriage. Paella burrito. Less than 10 bucks for this.
Paella in Latin America and in Spain is the reason to celebrate. Birthdays, Father's Day, why not? Paella is the main dish.
Look how big this sangria is, passion fruit for $5.95.
Well, if you have a group of 6 people or more, we have the best place to celebrate your birthday because the birthday person gets to eat and drink for free.
I did want to note they have vegetarian options here, vegetarian burritos and vegetarian arepas. This is new to the menu. Black bean, Venezuelan cheese. I've actually never tried this here before. Take a nice bite. Wow. If it ain't messy, it ain't right. Ben the cameraman, hashtag.
This is kind of spicy, actually.
He told you not to put too much. Ben, you are not listening. I like this. You just put the whole thing. All right.
It's spicier, but it's so good. It's worth the pain.
You gonna hose him off?
Oh. No, not yet, not yet.
If you come here, eat a meal, and say you saw Easy Paella on Here Be Barr, he will give you either a free sangria, a free wine, or a free tapas. Any one of those three. Try it. Midtown Manhattan's known for two things, tourists and commuters, but it has some amazing cheap eats. You know the rules, $10 or less. We'll be eating pizza, halal food, pastries, and even grilled cheese. You don't want to miss it. One thing we've been sorely lacking in this series are coffee shops. 10,000 Coffee is a brand from Sydney, Australia. They've just opened and they've been super busy. I love the modern minimalistic feel here. You can tell they're concentrating on the most important element, the coffee. We even have bean cards here where you find out the exact details of the coffee blend you're about to drink. Let's do one of the espresso cream lattes with honey cookie. The other will be a panela latte. Then we'll do the Columbia pour over. The cool thing is if you order any of their signature coffee, it comes with a pairing menu and you get a free sweet on the side.
Best latte ever. It's sweet. I like that. I'm not an expert at coffee, but I think I can tell when I love a coffee and when I don't, and I really, really love this one. Like, it's really, really good.
The amount of effort that the staff puts in to make each and every one of these coffees, absolutely impressive. Well worth the price. Espresso cream latte, a little chocolate on top, and I'm gonna take a bite of my little honey cookie after. It's got just like the little hint of chocolate flavor. This is pure art. I don't know if I've ever enjoyed an iced coffee more in my entire life. Seriously, if you are a coffee aficionado, owe it to yourself to try this. So for a little extra, I bought myself a croissant too. And we're not that far from Times Square.
This should be your first coffee in New York City.
We're talking about first pizza?
Yeah.
This could be your first coffee in New
I
York.
have to say, I always drink my coffee really slow. Sometimes it gets cold. Look at this, like I can't stop drinking.
It's true, I live with her.
It's quite an experience. I think this is the first black coffee I've had that didn't make me go, you know, like when you go like.
65 degrees in early March. This day is an absolute blessing. To be spending it doing cheap eats, it's just like icing on the cake. This one's a little bit of a no-brainer since the Empire State Building is right across the street. Oh, it smells so good. Can I get 1 grandma, 2 cheese? Little Italy Pizza has the exact same owners as Bleecker Street Pizza, and you all know that's my favorite pizza spot in the world. I've actually been here a couple of times, love the spot. Got the margarita slice right here. Looks a little bit like the Nonna Maria for my Bleecker Street Pizza fans out there. You can tell they're in the Bleecker Street Pizza family because the marinara sauce on top, very similar to the tomato sauce on the Nonna Maria, and this crust is so flaky. I'm usually not someone that compliments the crust of a pizza when I take my first bite, but wow. You're in Midtown Manhattan, Little Italy Pizza, you can do a lot worse for your first New York City slice. This is fantastic.
This is what I imagined when I saw the Ninja Turtles pizza. It's so good. I'm in my happy place.
I'm trying the famous grandma slice, which is what they're known for at Little Italy Pizza. Like Nonna Maria style, but on the Sicilian. It's like a really thin, flat crust. Very different from your traditional Sicilian that you'll get in New York City, which I always feel like is more puffed up. Really unique, and again, I know the owners here, I know the ingredients they use. It's really good. All right, let's get one classic. Got the goods. I've been to Melt Shop many times before. I know the quality of this spot. Got 5 locations in New York City. And in order to keep this cheap eats, I had to get the classic Melt American and cheddar cheese on white bread. Now, many of you ask Adriana and I, how do we stay so slim doing all these cheap eats videos. I'll tell you how, by splitting stuff sometimes. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's something that's so simple, but they have really high quality cheese. They're American and they're cheddar. It's just simple, it's just simplicity here that works.
It's so crunchy. I really like that. This is definitely one of my favorite things of US.
Really, what are some other American foods that you're into outside of grilled cheese? Now I'm curious.
I like chicken and waffles.
Okay.
I never thought about that combo before, and it's so good. Mac and cheese is also really good. I tried it in Mexico before, but that's American. I really like that too.
They do grilled cheese here, they do mac and cheese here. You want a slice of the United States? No pun intended, come here. Empire State Building pointed to pizza, Radio City Music Hall points to some amazing halal food. Everyone's always talking about the halal guys. I say give a Dell's here a look instead. I always know it's a good sign when there's a long line forming. If it was your first time, what would you recommend I get?
Probably. If you get the spicy rice, I would get the sauce on the side.
Combos?
You like yellow rice or spicy rice?
What do you think? Spicy?
How adventurous do you feel like?
Feeling adventurous. What I find funny is that a lot of tourists think that hot dogs are what the local New Yorkers eat. No. Halal food, a combo rice platter like this, this is real New York. This is what the locals are actually eating. Lamb, little pieces of pita, chicken in here, spicy rice, some lettuce, and it is just absolutely drenched, and I mean drenched in white sauce. Big bite. A yogurt sauce, so creamy, so much flavor. Spicy rice doesn't feel too bad. I didn't put any hot sauce on it. How much better does it get than this? They got Radio City Music Hall right across from us and some epic street food. Oh, man. Where has Adele's been my entire life? They didn't know we were coming. They had no clue. They didn't pay me to say this. This is some of the best halal I've ever had in my entire life. Oh, honestly blown away. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is. Knowing New Yorkers and seeing a long line like this of non-tourists, I'm not surprised. When you see a long line of locals in New York, you know something's up. Oh my God. Oh. Wow.
You can tell when John really likes something because he raises his eyebrows and then he goes just one notch. He's like, oh my God, this is so good.
My brain short circuits, yeah. Insider tip, you want a nice dinner to bring back to your hotel room in Midtown? Stop by here, $9. You'll feast like a king. Thank me later. I hope you brought your appetite. We're going on a food tour of Harlem, visiting 3 iconic locations with someone born and raised in Harlem. Get ready to get hungry. You guys are all in for a treat. Today's guest host is making his second appearance on the channel. Born and raised here in Harlem, also one of my best friends. Let's meet Evan.
What's up, members of the barrio? This is your guest host, Evan, coming to you straight from Harlem. Can't wait to take you around to some of the places that I think that you'll enjoy while you're here on a trip to New York City.
All right, Evan, we are at Moe's Burgers right now. You've been talking up this spot for a long time. Why'd you choose it?
When you come to Moe's Burgers, and it's just like when we were talking about Amy Roots in our last video, it's just a really good community feel that you end up with. It's a nice charbroiled burger, fresh off the grill, and honestly, like, I'm sure all your viewers will agree that there's nothing like a fresh hamburger with some cheese that just kind of melts away in your mouth. So guys, right now we're in front of Victor's Barbershop. Moe's Burgers is really famous because Moe owns the barbershop and started this whole thing as a part of feeding the community and like really making sure that this is something that the locals have access to. Can I grab 2 small cheeseburgers and 2 small, what do you want to do? Half and half or lemonades?
Half and half.
2 small half and halves as well.
You always get something to eat, man.
Oh, 100%.
Little windows are always open.
Especially you go to the Bodega.
That's right,
you
always
slap
open.
it down.
Guys, I have to say, I smelled Moe's like a half block away. That smell of burgers grilling, unbelievable, really.
Yo, you guys are in for a treat right now. Honestly, it's a pretty solid burger. Like, literally solid. Like, I know a lot of times when you go to places and you get burgers, a lot of breading, a lot of filler in there, and you don't really get that much meat. This is just a really solid beef burger that comes fresh off the grill. Like, there's nothing more you can ask for.
All right, let's see what the hype's all about. Moe's Burger, first time trying it for me. This tastes to me like you just got it off the grill at a backyard barbecue. And I love the social vibe over there. People just chiming in, telling their stories about eating at Moe's. This is a really solid burger and a great type of food you could just get on the go if you're exploring Harlem anyway. I mean, we're off to a really good start to this video.
One thing to remember is right now when you come to Moe's Burgers, like you can get the small for $2, and that's important because he does it for the community. And I've mentioned this before or a little bit earlier when we were doing the ordering process and everything like that. Like, this is something that you really typically don't find throughout Manhattan, which is people who are more focused on their neighborhoods and everything like that. So there's a huge social implication here that we definitely encourage people to like at least come and like, you know, support and, you know, show them some love while they're here, and don't forget to tip.
From everything I saw just hanging out around there, I felt like the burger is almost secondary to the experience of going up and ordering and chatting with people in the community.
Like, that's really where this sets itself apart. It's really not about the burger. You know, again, you get a burger from pretty much anywhere in New York, you know, but when it comes down to this, like, it's really about getting the feel of Harlem. Like, even when we were standing in line, we were talking with somebody who was local to the area and said, hey, this is really what his lunch break is.
All right, Evan, we are in front of Charles Pan-Fried Chicken, and you told me that this was a unique spot to visit in Harlem.
Absolutely. See, the best part about this is, like, I remember when I was young and hanging in the kitchen and my grandmother was frying chicken, it was always pan-fried chicken. What I loved about it is that you always got those, like, crispy, like, little sections that were just, like, hitting the bottom of the pan. Are we doing thighs? We doing legs? What are you recommending?
Well, I'm a thigh man myself.
All right, see, me too. 2 drums, 2 thighs. We need to do some mac and cheese and some candy yams.
This is a lot of food. You know, we did run into Charles, the owner, the man, the myth, the legend. Unfortunately, I didn't tell them we were coming and he was on his way out, so he said a word or two on camera. So we didn't get that big interview, but we're gonna pay them homage. We're gonna give them some respect by eating a ton of this on camera. Now, this isn't really the best food to eat outside. This isn't really street food.
Yeah, it's not like a slice of pizza where you just take it, you fold it, and you just kind of walk and go. Like, the best part about like having fried chicken and soul food is the fact that you get to sit down and like really enjoy it and spend time with those that you care about. It's definitely not something that you're just eating out of a container.
Yeah, we're gonna do soul food COVID-19 style outside here.
We're in front of St. Aloysius Church. This is the church that I grew up going to. I used to come here every Sunday with my grandmother for services. So I figured, you know what, if we're gonna have, you know, fried chicken in memory of my grandmother and all the stuff that she used to do for me, we're gonna go ahead and just have it in front of where she used to come to with me every Sunday. That, my friends, is what you call fried goodness.
Evan insisted I go first. I have not had fried chicken in Harlem since we were at Amy Ruth's doing chicken and waffles. This is different. This is just a drumstick coming right out of the bucket. Perfect. Let's try this. This is so crispy. I see exactly what Evan was saying about the pan-fried chicken, how you just get a better flavor out of it. And clearly, you know, Charles is a legend for a reason. Excellent. Just in one bite, I could tell how good this fried chicken is. Really happy Evan took me here. As usual, Evan, another good choice.
Honestly, like, this is just bringing me back some memories already, just by smelling it. And Oh yeah, this is perfectly done. Like, it's crispy, it's juicy, it's full of flavor, and like even when I bite into it, like it literally brings me back to my childhood. Like I can't think of a more perfect piece of chicken right now.
Baked mac and cheese here. All right, side dishes, what it's all about. So much flavor. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I think I like the mac and cheese as much as I like the fried chicken, and I was not expecting to say that. Definitely some of the best mac and cheese I've had in a long time. Not just saying that.
We're like halfway through this thing.
I know. Evan's afraid I'm gonna finish this literally right now.
All right, so got a little candy yams here, and my grandmother always told me, like, you can always tell how good somebody's soul food is by their candied yams. So let's see what we got here. Solid. Honestly, not overly sweet, because I know some people like to put a little bit too much sugar in there. Very buttery. It honestly reminds me of just like a slightly sweetened mashed sweet potato. This is excellent. Probably one of my favorite dishes that I've had in a very long time from a restaurant.
Evan likes the shirt. If you guys are interested in purchasing a New York Strong shirt and supporting his channel, see the link right down below. We keep a small proceed. Helps us fund the things we do on this channel, guys. Appreciate it. Honestly, it tastes homemade to me. Like, that's how I would describe it. It's like, I feel like this is homemade. We are at our final stop, and I will admit that Lily's was my choice for a really cool reason.
So obviously, John has talked about his culture before, but he's Jewish. I'm pretty obviously black. So we were trying to figure a way in which we could bring everything together to solidify our friendship. So with that, we discovered that there was arugula made by a black man in Harlem. So we were just like, how much more perfect could this be? So with that said, we're bringing you to Lily's Bakery. Oh, hey, how's it? Hey. Not bad, just here for some arugula.
How did you come to make arugula of all things to bake?
Well, 1962, I started baking at New York Hospital, and I found a recipe in the newspaper, and I got adjusted to where I thought it would be, it should be, and it came out this way, my blessing. Good, pure ingredients, right? Okay. And we try to, put a lot of love in it.
Jewish people come in here, are they very impressed by how it tastes, like the quality of it? Like, I'm so excited to try this.
Like they say, they always say, better than grandmother.
Better than grandmother?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got to try this.
All right, we're trying this.
I like it, we're like twins here. All right, I've got the chocolate arugula, he's got the apricot. As Lily said, Jewish people were telling him it's better than how their grandma did it, so I want to see if it lives up to that hype right there.
I mean, I don't have a grandma that's done this before, so...
I'll give you my opinion on it.
All right, fair enough.
Let's try this, let's do it. Here we go. All right.
Oh man, that's good. I've had arugula before. This is amazing. It's so fresh. It's really light, and it's got like a nice crispness to it with a little bit of tenderness on the inside. It's honestly the ultimate pastry right now.
It's really good. It's like a word to describe it, it's very crumbly. Like you eat it, just crumbs up in your mouth. Excellent flavor. I love the chocolate. I would say it's a bit different. I can't put my finger on it, but it's a little different than what I'm used to normally eating arugula. But different isn't bad here. This is still really good, and I think it's just so unique to have him doing arugula, not being Jewish, and that being his staple. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's something that's very New York.
Oh, I agree. Especially with the culinary history that we have here. Oh yeah, you gotta come up and you gotta try this. These places are excellent complements to things that you're already doing in Harlem. So for example, if you're going to the Schomburg like we talked about in the last video, definitely make sure you're stopping off for lunch or grabbing some pan-fried chicken. If you are in the neighborhood and you're grabbing dinner and you want something sweet to end it, definitely grab some arugula. If you're just walking through Harlem and you want something that's like a quick bite that is just gonna hit the spot, make sure you stop by Moe's. So we wanted to make sure that we were just highlighting some of the really awesome things that are designed to complete your visit to Harlem.
Chinatown is one of Manhattan's best neighborhoods for budget bites, and today we're gonna be joined by two Chinese-American YouTubers who are gonna be showing us 5 cheap eat spots like locals. You don't wanna miss it.
Hi everyone, we are the Bing Buzz, and today we're gonna show you and John Barr around Chinatown to some of our favorite quick bites. Come on!
That's cute.
Look at that.
That's very cute.
Perfect for Chinatown. Look at this tiny little booth. We got air conditioning, food's on the tables.
This is a little weird alley street. I used to get my haircut here for $5 actually. And then just get a quick bite after.
Yes, and this place is called Tasty Hand-Pulled Noodles, but we ordered the pan-fried dumplings because they are a little underrated and you can't sleep on them. To know that it's a good pan-fried dumpling, the outside is a little crispy, lightly fried, and then the inside is chewy. Take a bite and look at the inside.
Wow. It's got such a nice crispy exterior. And then we have a good portion of pork with just a couple chives, some veggies, maybe some of the soy sauce on top. Now, I've actually never eaten here before, and I know so many other pan-fried dumpling spots in Chinatown, but already one bite, I'm really impressed with this choice. Let's take another. I'm impressed. It's actually one of the best pan-fried dumplings I've had in Manhattan's Chinatown. Is it ready to tell? Very fresh. Very, very fresh.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh.
It actually tastes so much better with the soy sauce. You have to dunk it in. The soy sauce is so good.
And there's some ginger in there, some chives, and it's just so fresh, so refreshing.
So you can get them frozen too, right?
Yes, take them frozen, take them home, because you got all these options right here.
I'm kind of curious about this $5 haircut, to be honest with you. how good of a haircut is it for $5?
Chinese Americans, when they're younger, we all got the same haircut, just kind of short everywhere, and that's what I got. Yeah, and it was good. And then $1.10.
We have a private booth and we spent $7. This is one of the cheapest ways to eat out in Manhattan and actually have some privacy. Like, would you admit this is a pretty good cheap date for a couple?
Oh yeah, and it comes with water.
I love this. We have not one, but 2 different doors in this booth.
There's so much things here. There's a lot of food places, a USPS, and there's haircut.
Your we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop by your $5 haircut. I'm in for this. I think it's absolutely crazy how this street had some of the most murders in U.S. history here on Doyer's Bloody Angle, and today it's so colorful and full of restaurants.
I would pose right here too, just like that girl.
And I always remember these kind of haircut places on ground level, it's about 20% more expensive than the basement level. That's the erhu instrument, traditional Chinese music.
Hello, can I get the 3 Hong Kong style milk teas?
It's kind of influenced from the 19th century when, during British colonial times, and the British like to have their tea with milk and sugar. And over time, it has evolved into the Hong Kong milk tea. Black tea, along with evaporated, sweetened condensed milk.
Typical cup probably has like maybe 50 milligrams of caffeine. This could go up to like 220 milligrams. Super highly caffeinated. It's really creamy. I'm gonna drink a little bit because this is freaking hot.
Really milky, really, really creamy.
It's smooth. It's super caffeinated. You
I can
taste the
feel,
tea.
I can taste the tea, and I could just like instantly. I'm feeling more awake. I'm feeling like. Oof.
Hong Kong, they like to drink this during the afternoon time just to give a little energy boost.
So we're a little late for this. We'll stay up all night.
Can we get the Tony special?
Yeah, of course. One order?
Yes.
Anything else?
That's it.
Alright, so $5.50, okay?
Thank you. Here's my sponge cake.
I feel like we just ordered something off the kids menu. Look.
You gave it 2, right?
Da-na-na-na.
It's like I'm dining out in China with all the grandmas, grandpas. It's a good time.
Yeah, we're looking for some soft, silky, pillowy, smooth rice noodle rolls to slip down your throat.
Almost sounded wrong.
So this is a staple dish. It comes from Guangdong province in China. And the way to make it is they add water, dough, make it into liquid dough, put it on a platter, steam it, add all the toppings in it, wrap it up, drench in soy sauce.
Dried shrimp, pork, and chicken in one for $5.50. This could be one of the best values of the day.
Yeah. I got the minced pork.
Best word to describe this is so pillowy. It's silky smooth. Do you know how they bake the meat? Is it all in together or is it separated?
I think it's so they put it in a platter and then just throw all the meat on there.
Throw it all together at once.
And then wrap it up.
This could be a little bit elusive to get on your fork, huh? Sort of like Jello.
Yeah.
This is comfort food, isn't it?
It really is.
Look at this. Yum. Drenched in soy sauce. Perfect. So slippery. It just slides down.
People visiting New York, they have such a big opportunity to experience more than your typical American Chinese food, right?
For sure. There's so much variety here.
And this is just one region of China, Hong Kong. There's so much more.
Hello. Can we get number 4 and 5 banh mi? Yeah.
This is so heavy, too. These are not light little sandwiches. We got a lot of food here. Vietnamese banh mi here, such a popular thing in Chinatown. There's so much variety all over here within 10 blocks. I have the more traditional banh mi, the pork and the Vietnamese ham, and you have the fusion, right?
I have a more Americanized one. Inside here, there's the smoked ham and the salami. Definitely taste the salami.
A lot of pork. Definitely not skimping you on the meat here. It's all been so overlooked for a banh mi sandwich. That bread is holding everything together. It's gotta be good.
Crunchy, it's airy. There's some French influence in this. Baguette.
Wow.
You knew right away. I gotta say, Asian food, it's all about balance. There's a lot of carrots, vegetables. Goes so well with the heavy meats.
This totally keeps with our no frills vibe today. Curious what we're getting. It moves too. This looks amazing. Feels like very 1950s.
Thank you. $2. Thank you.
3 sponge cakes, $2.
$2.
Oh my god, that was such a fast pickup.
Yeah.
They have little toys here. You want to bring kids? This is a good spot.
So this is some really light, fluffy sponge cake. Friggin' delicious. Subtle taste. Less sugar than Western pastries, but so freaking good.
I feel like everything has less sugar than Western pastries while you're on the subject.
That's true.
Another name for this is called jiggly cotton cake. And also a paper wrap cake, because you see there's a paper wrapped around it, so you don't have to get your hands dirty.
Eggs, flour, cream, and baking powder. That's it.
Very simple.
Yeah, the fewer ingredients it is, the more precise you have to be.
We have ube flavor. We've got matcha. We have, what was it, cinnamon? Butter. We can't even tell. We're just going to be eating a bunch of them and letting you know what they are. It's so soft and pillowy.
Isn't it so fun to eat?
It is really fun to eat. It's like my lips or my teeth green or something now. I can only imagine. Look at this. Like you actually can enjoy the texture of the bread.
All right. All this food for me. Sorry, Ben. Sorry, John.
Cool.
Okay, I'll share. Here you go.
Especially during the nicer weather months like now in the fall. There's so many places you can come. Bring your friends, cheap as heck, sit outside, enjoy the city. It's perfect.
We've been open for over 35 years and we have the best sponge cakes in Chinatown. So come by.
And they agree, for sure.
I agree. We just had
We
it.
got 2 big fans. We got 3 big fans here. We loved it. Thank you so much.
You guys have a good one, okay?
If you enjoyed this video, we also do a lot of fun videos and cheap eats.
Check us out. Link down below.
Today we're going to show you some of the best cheap eats in the Village, an area that is absolutely well known for having some of the best budget bites in New York City. And we've got a special guest today, a rapper and a producer from New York.
What up, Uncommon Nasa here. Really, I consider myself raised in Manhattan, been coming out here for 20 years. I know a thing or two about some cheap eats out here, so.
You hungry?
Starving.
Let's do this, let's do this. I get the falafel, pita, the both, the harissa, and the green.
Yes.
That's it, just 3 of those, yeah. Right here, thank you so much. All right. I had a friend of mine say that this is the absolute best falafel in New York City. $8.95, barely qualifies as cheap eats, but we're keeping it under $10. 2 different types of chickpea, and there's a lot going on in here. I think this is gonna be really, really tasty. Let's do it, let's try this.
It's fantastic.
I like how there's the different color. You see 2 different color chickpeas. Right there.
We got a mix of the falafels here. We got the harissa, which is orange, and then the more common one in New York, the green, as you can see right there. So it's up to you. You can get either or. We decided to do both to really compare the flavors.
Having this harissa for the first time, I would probably get a full falafel of that from here the next time I go, because I do like that spice. I've never had a spicy falafel, you know, without just putting hot sauce on it. Like, this is cool to have a spicy falafel like this.
All we do is eat meat on this channel. So to show you something that I would actually consider on the healthier side, also fun, healthy, and I guess relatively cheap.
Relatively cheap. For this area,
yeah.
You know, if you really want to, cut it in half.
You've been involved in the hip-hop industry for, you said, over 20 years now. How are things changing in New York City at the moment?
Things have changed a lot. One of the things that I notice on when I walk around Manhattan, especially this area, because I had a lot of my hip-hop moments here in the Village. A lot of venues are gone. A lot of people have changed, you know what I mean? Like, people would get up in Washington Square and out at 6th Avenue where Fat Beach used to be. These were epic places where people would gather and freestyle and cypher and talk about hip-hop and do that thing. Age 16 to 25 and beyond, like, I would come out here and shop for records and get cheap eats. Back in the days when Pluck U was still a thing.
I have not seen McDougal Street here in Greenwich Village this crowded in over a year. What a positive sign for the reopening.
Yeah, so just one classic sandwich. One classic to go. Yeah. You want a spicy, medium, or non-spicy? Medium.
This is how we make you guys hungry. We do this intentionally. $5. I'm shocked they haven't raised their prices over the years. You?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's word of mouth advertising. It's got to be.
Easily one of the most famous places on McDougal Street, which was hopping. I'm happy to see the Village coming back to life. We're in the heart of Greenwich Village. Let's try. You ever tried this before?
I have not tried this before.
This one's my call, so we'll see if he likes it.
It's tangy.
Tangy. It's just like I remember it.
I thought,
yeah,
it's real sweet.
2 different types of pork, and then we're really tasting those pickled carrots. I like the hard roll a lot too. You know, is this the best banh mi sandwich in New York that I've had? No. Is it one of the best deals for the Village? Heck yes. Oh, thank you. I should bring her on the video. Do you think that New York has shaped rappers that have come out of here? Is there something different about a rapper out of New York that you wouldn't find from, I don't know, LA or anywhere else?
Because hip-hop is from here, there's a certain respect for hip-hop that I think is true anywhere, no matter where you're from. But in New York, it's really embedded in you. You know, you don't have to like go out of your way to have respect for hip-hop. It's part of who you are growing up here. Like, you have that.
If you want to see where the birthplace of hip-hop was, check out our Bronx video. We actually covered it. To say of all the neighborhoods in New York City, the Village has by far taken the most advantage of outdoor seating. It's really something else around here. I'll do one of the Oreo rings.
All right. Do you want to do half a dozen or in a bag?
No, just because I one.
You want a bag?
Does anyone ever just order one, or it's always half a dozen? I have to say, this place looks so cool. It's like we're in our own little donut fantasy world.
The original donut pub on 14th is like authentically old school New York. They did not have the famed red velvet glaze today. You got Brooklyn cream.
I did Oreo. I mean, I'm getting a little fancy here, but I love cookies and cream ice cream, so I went with this.
Donut pub is like if you're from the 80s and you remember what Dunkin' Donuts used to be like when they made donuts. This is what Donut Pub is. Everything is fresh. All they do here is donuts. The coffee and everything else is kind of secondary. It's about the donut.
I've never had a donut with little pieces of Oreo on top before. It's more something I think of with ice cream, but it works perfectly for me. I mean, I love this.
See how frothy that is? That's special right there.
Wow.
That's low key.
$2.50, little donut heaven here. And I like what you said. The place that specializes in the donut, not the coffee, not the other stuff.
Yeah.
And we're the only ones even sitting here. Like, just, we show them, like, look at this little counter here. I like that setup.
Super clean. it's almost like this place is like a tribute to the original. So like I used to go to the original all the time. I actually shot part of a video in the old Donut Pub.
And I think it's great that we're eating dessert in the middle. We're eating, dessert before like 2 more dinners coming up. I don't know how I do this sometimes. It's a really tough job. It's a really tough job I got.
I feel for you, man. I feel, you know, we're all hoping that you pull through this.
We're hoping. 50-50. You know what's funny? I walked by this place like 100 times. I never actually ordered here in like 10 years.
This is a spot for the rando less than $10 sandwich. This is good stuff.
It's just literally a hole in the wall.
Yeah, I mean, it actually is. It's just a hole like in the wall right here on this street. My favorite is this chicken schnitzel, which is really kind of just a chicken cutlet. You can see what the full sandwich looks like.
Yes,
you know,
we split it in half. Yeah,
pretty gigantic for $9. You could save half and eat the other half. I get this for lunch a lot. Chipotle mayo, well, you know, it's basic. It's basic, but it's delicious basic.
And I'm just impressed by the amount of chicken you get. And I thought they'd be skimping us here, but no. It's a decent amount of chicken if you consider it $4.50 each. You've tried it? Never tried this? Let's see what it's all about. Here we go.
First bite.
Really solid. I like the spicy chipotle kind of mayo, pepper.
Yeah.
Adds a little kick to it. Just a really well put together sandwich.
The breading has like a layer of flavor too. I'm not sure exactly what kind of breadcrumbs they're using or if they're adding some more spice, but there's definitely something else going on in the breadcrumb itself.
There's something there. I would say especially if you live in the area and you want a quick sandwich to go, even something to maybe split with a roommate or a significant other. This is a lot. I don't know how we're still eating as much.
But we did a lot of walking.
That's a key in New York.
You gotta get your steps in, man. You get your steps in, you can eat like this all you want. I actually have a new album coming out. It's called Only Child. It'll be out on August 6th. A couple singles are out right now. You can go to Spotify and check them out.
Times Square, New York's biggest tourist trap. But can you actually find good food here? Today, our challenge is to find out. Now, it might not look like much from the outside, but Margon, half block off Times Square, one of the best hole-in-the-wall Cuban restaurants in New York City. This place is no secret, I will tell you, to locals. Locals know about this spot. And you eat a lot of Cuban food in Miami now, right?
That's right. I mean, the standard in Miami is Versailles restaurant. They make some pretty good Cuban food, but let's try it in Times Square.
Just one Cuban sandwich? Can I also get 3 Cuban coffees?
3 Cuban coffees?
Yeah. These are strong, right?
No idea. I stay away from these coffees.
Need an energy boost.
This is no ordinary Cuban sandwich. This is special. For meat, we've got roast pork, ham, salami, melted Swiss, mayo, mustard, garlic sauce, toasted bread. What else could you ask for? Let's try it.
Let's see how it compares.
It's so meaty. I've been through 3 different layers of meat there. The salami, the roast pork, and the ham all at once. Paired with that mustard, nicely toasted bread. That's a good experience. I'm enjoying this.
It took me a good 15 seconds to chew through it all. There's so much meat in this thing, man. But the garlic sauce, the mayo, mustard, I think really makes it. Overall, a great Cuban sandwich.
If you're a carnivore, you're gonna love this place. They have plates too that you can get. You don't just have to get a sandwich. You can get a pretty big lunch for about $14. Oh, what is that?
Try this.
Oh, thank you.
Shrimp ceviche.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
So they saw us filming. I didn't tell them we were coming, and they're gifting us shrimp ceviche. I love ceviche. Let me try. Good flavor. It was a lot fresher than you would expect to get in New York City. Do you feel like this is, I'll use a big word, the antithesis of a Times Square restaurant?
I mean, yeah, you wouldn't think there's a place in Times Square. You would think it's a chain restaurant, so the only thing around here.
We are going to be hitting some chains today. It is Times Square, but I feel like I had to show you all a spot that locals actually go to. In fact, looking around, I don't think I saw a single tourist in here. Right off Times Square, half block away, surrounded by these big restaurants, big flashy spots, you got Margon, which has been here like 50 years.
Starting off the challenge on the right foot. All right, this coffee is dangerously addictive. Ready to explore more at Times Square. Jollibee opened in Times Square just a few months ago, and there's now 3 of these in New York City. This is no ordinary fast food chain, trust me. Super famous in the Philippines and all over the world. I don't think I've ever been to a Jollibee in the US that did not have a long line. Interesting fact, there's actually a Jollibee across the street from Port Authority, like 5 minutes away. Let that sink in. 2 Jollibees in Midtown. Amazing Ben worked at Jollibee in Virginia. How do you feel walking into this shop?
I feel proud, honestly. It's almost like the ultimate Filipino immigrant thing to do in America is to work at Jollibee, you know? I'm very proud to have been part of it.
Proud to be Filipino.
Definitely.
I would like a 2-piece chicken joy with a side of white rice, a Jolly spaghetti order, and I want to get a peach mango pie, and then 2 more of the pineapple juices. This isn't the first time we've included a Jollibee on the channel. We filmed at the one about 3 blocks away a couple times, and I've had a lot of viewers surprised at me for including this. They're thinking like, why would you include some random Filipino fast food chain on your New York guides? And I always tell them, this is different. This is not that common around the world, and people are addicted to this fast food. Myself included. I love their chicken joy. So we got a 2-piece. I'm gonna have one. Action, could you insist it on the Jolly spaghetti? Why?
Yeah, because it's a little bit different, and you really can't find this anywhere like in an Italian restaurant. Who puts hot dogs and spaghetti together, you know?
It's also sweet. It's an acquired taste, I would say. It's not for everyone. I'm a fan of it, but I have had people say they don't like it. Here we go.
Here we go.
Crunchy and crispy and not that spicy. It's got a little kick to it I'm feeling right now, but I've never gone wrong with a chicken joy ever. What about yours?
Definitely very savory, sweet sauce, hot dogs. I mean, we just feel good eating this.
I've always felt that a kid, like children, would find this spaghetti interesting. If you want your children to try something new in New York, maybe sweet spaghetti like this would work.
Yeah, definitely. I like it.
I want a bucket of this next to Adriana, my wife, watching Netflix. The perfect like binge TV food to have this.
And there's a reason why this chicken scored high in our fried chicken food test.
Yes.
We had Jollibee on that.
Dedicated Asian fried chicken video we did, it scored quite highly. I'll put this over any of the American fried chicken chains like KFC. Like, I'm sorry, I picked Jollibee.
All right, step 1, spoon and fork. You gotta use your spoon as a knife, just like so. Now you gotta take this piece of chicken, dunk it into the gravy, prepare your bed of rice, put the chicken on top. Woo. Make sure it's dripping in gravy, see? And in for the bite. That's how you do a chicken joy. It's a 3-part series, chicken rice gravy.
People rave about these peach mango pies. I mean, this is actually my favorite thing at Jollibee. I don't know what it is, but this skin is so good. It's like super flaky, unbelievable. I feel like I'm in heaven right now. I would have a whole lunch just peach mango pie from Jollibee.
Kind of jealous right now. Kind of jealous. If you're visiting New York and you're gonna be in Times Square and Midtown a lot, check out our latest guide to the area. We've got maps, suggestions, a lot of what's in this video is gonna be in that guide, and a lot more. Link in the description. This is an absolute viewer favorite, Los Tacos #1. You know how Shake Shack got started in New York and spread all over the US? Well, this is one of 5 Los Tacos #1s in the city, and one of my favorites. I have seen lines lasting 30 minutes before, at least during like the lunch rush. Right now, it's pretty chill, and by far the best taco you're gonna find in the Times Square area. No ticket, no taco. Look at that trompa right there. Humongous. Con todo, right? Con todo. This place never gets old. This never gets old. The price has slowly but surely gone up on these. These are close to $5 a taco, but I will give a pass to any spot that's right next to Times Square because the rent here is ridiculous.
I know, I mean, considering its location, I mean, $5 a taco.
I think they're worth it. I think they're personally worth it.
Well, we gotta bite into it, see if it's still worth it.
See if it's still good. Here we go, con todo, adobada. Now I know what people are thinking, well, this is really expensive, but having my wife from Mexico eating many tacos in Mexico, maybe they're $1 there, but they're half as big. You get so much meat in these tacos. Again, I'm not saying this is cheap per se, but one of these tacos right now, like I'm starting to feel it. They're heavy.
Yeah, they are. You really feel like all the pork in here. The pineapple's a nice touch. I mean, you gotta get it con todo when you get it here. Cilantro, onion, salsa, guacamole.
Yeah, salsa's a little spicy depending on your tolerance. Maybe you don't want to ask for it, but this is excellent. I love their handmade tortillas as well. I think that's something that really sets them apart. I don't know if you agree, but I feel like the New York Mexican food scene is really on the rise. We were always second, third fiddle to Chicago, LA, but New York's up and coming.
Yeah, I feel it. I mean, years ago, you can never find a place like this in Manhattan.
No, definitely not. So Los Tacos is starting the right trend here, but now it's all about like the birria tacos popping up everywhere.
That's right.
And even Mexican spots that didn't have birria in New York now have birria. This Krispy Kreme is so big you can see it 2 blocks away. This is the world's largest Krispy Kreme donut, and it's bright, it's loud, it fits perfectly into Times Square. It's also the busiest Krispy Kreme donut in the world, and I've never been here before. So I'm finally knocking this off the list. AK, have you been here?
No, never. I mean, I pass by it all the time, but I never thought to go in here. I was like, it's Krispy Kreme, but...
I mean, I'm a Dunkin' Donuts guy, but we'll see if I change allegiances after this. And by the way, they have 24-hour pickup at their walk-up window. I don't know if any other Krispy Kremes in the world offer that.
See where it all begins.
Look. Wow, wow. That's pretty cool. I love the open layout. Look at all that glaze getting dropped. If you're a Krispy Kreme fan, you can, complete the experience by buying a t-shirt. 25 bucks, that's not terrible. Wanted to do a 3-pack of the original glazed, and then I wanted to do a 3-pack of the custom assorted. I do strawberry ice glaze with sprinkles, chocolate cream, and then one of the Oreo cookies and cream. I'm gaining weight just looking at this, man. This is like a really touristy experience that I'm happy to be trying. Oreo, cream donut, original glaze.
It's been a while since I had Krispy Kreme.
Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. Once I got to the cream filling of the Oreo, that's when I got satisfied with it. Not bad. Not the best donut I've ever had in my life. I won't lie to you. But interesting. What about yours?
Yeah, I mean, John, you really gotta try this original glaze. It's fluffy. It's got the sugar on it. I mean,
you talked me into it. I love glazed. Much better for me. Yeah. You can see that they really specialize in this donut, and they're going to do it well.
Yep.
Buy the Cuban coffee from Margone. Come here for one of these. Dunk that in there.
Oh.
That's a morning. That's a breakfast.
That's what you gotta do.
All right, great debate. Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts? What do you go?
Krispy Kreme.
I need to try more to give you a proper answer, but leaning Krispy Kreme right now. I'm gonna come back someday, have more flavors, give you a final answer. Today we'll be showing you how far $100 can go in New York's Chinatown, from dim sum to street food, restaurants, and more. And to make this challenge even more interesting, this budget is gonna go for 3 people. I've got my friends Ben and Ming from the Bing Buzz joining me. We're starting with perhaps the most famous dim sum spot in Chinatown, Ping's.
It's a great spot, great customer service, and has a good ratio of locals to tourists.
That's what we're looking for here. We don't want all tourists. No. Well, this is a good sign. Line down the stairs.
If you see a fish tank like this, you know it's a legit Cantonese restaurant.
Is it me or does that guy look just like Anthony Bourdain? Scary resemblance.
We ordered the steamed shrimp dumpling, steamed seafood shumai, the steamed rice noodle with shrimp, and the steamed sticky rice and chicken wrapped in lotus leaf.
Look at this feast for 3 of us. Anyone watching who doesn't know what dim sum is, how would you describe it?
To make it easy, Chinese breakfast.
Chinese breakfast, $2.30. All right, we're starting with the shrimp. Let's do it. Oh. So fresh, wow. I'm in heaven right now.
The shrimp is the most plump in this one though.
And then here we have the shumai.
Damn, John, you know all the words.
I'm learning a little bit. These two have taught me more about Chinese culture and Chinese food than anybody. Let's do it.
That's as fresh as dim sum gets, really.
I would love to take relatives and friends, never been to New York here, for a Cantonese dim sum experience.
If they love seafood, this is the perfect spot.
All right, we got the rice roll.
Yes, the steamed rice roll with shrimp inside, which is my favorite dish of dim sum. I like to drench it in soy sauce, like back and front.
Messy goodness. Here we go. There it is. That's the spot.
This soy sauce is the best. And the shrimp.
This one takes the longest to pick up, but goes down the fastest.
That's a good point.
This is steamed shrimp and chicken and sausage and other types of meat wrapped in sticky rice, wrapped up in a lotus leaf. So it has all the textures and the ingredients to make everything super hearty and filling.
It's amazing how I've walked by here so many times, and most tourists know about Hop Key and Wo Hop across the street, but I actually think Ping's is my favorite of the three.
For sure.
I've liked every single thing we've had so far, and the service.
Yeah. In the past, you can see Chinatown didn't really have the best customer service, but if you come here, you'll see the difference. And they still cater really well to the local Chinese residents.
Absolutely. So let this sink in. We spent a little bit over $25. We have approximately $75 left, and we had all this food for 3 people already.
Dim sum, take my money.
Take my money. Yes. Ming, some would say going to fried dumpling is like a New York City initiation.
This lady is legendary. You have to be confident. You have to know how many dumplings you want, and you have to be quick.
Gotta be quick. Gotta be confident. Yes. We've got exact change ready. Hello. Yes, one small order, please. Thank you. All right, Ming is gonna count how many we got. We don't know if we got the 13 that was advertised, and we're too afraid to say anything. Bit of inflation at a famous spot from 33 cents, a fried dumpling, to 38 cents.
38.46.
38.46 cents. You got it down to the decimal.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's a fried dumpling. It's a great value. You know, don't expect the best dumplings in all of Chinatown, but for what she's serving, the amount of food you get for a quick snack, I like it.
Definitely on the doughier end, but it's great if you're a high school student or a bodybuilder. You want to add some variety to your diet, this is a good choice.
Wait, a bodybuilder would want this?
I think so. You know, good amount of carbs.
Like if you're bulking, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And Ben.
Oh, hello.
Ben, you get recognized more than me now. Wow.
Nice. Kind of like the dollar pizza of dumplings.
I think it is the dollar pizza of dumplings. I like that, right?
I called it the 38.46 cent dumpling.
We're going from $5 dumplings to, dare I say, a more upscale spot, but still affordable.
Nailed it. This place will bring your taste buds to Hong Kong.
All right, I've never been here, and they recently were featured in the New York Times, so they're pretty popular.
We get the crispy garlic chicken and the fried sweet and sour spare rib.
You definitely get a contemporary vibe at Uncle Lou's compared to the last spot we were at, Ping's. 2 different experiences.
Big difference. At the same time, it's very comfortable and cozy. Even the artwork, everything is so intentional. Thank you.
Wow. So we've got the Loa Q favorites in front of us, starting with the garlic chicken. Now, for those who don't know, the waiter, the owner was telling us you've got to go with a Loa Q choices. Why?
That means it's on the OG list. The first wave of Chinese Americans coming from Guangdong, Hong Kong. It's like their go-to dish. You can't go wrong with it.
Let's do this. Let's try it. Wow. So much flavor.
This is the dish that they're known for, and it hits every time.
Right amount of chewiness, so tender, so soft, so juicy. It's kind of insane how you make chicken this good.
And if you look at the way that it's been presented to us, it is the perfect share. We're not going to call this a dim sum spot, but it's a good spot for groups anyway.
Yeah, family style.
And this looks phenomenal. Sweet and sour ribs. Ming's mouth is watering. I don't want to hold her up anymore. Let's do it. Let's try it. Oh.
Still the best every time. It's tangy, with a slight crisp to it, and there's lychee and pineapple in it to give it extra sweetness as well.
Comes right off the bone. Oh, it's like it melts in your mouth. Oof. When I heard rib, I thought it'd be more like the Texas Southern style where you're eating it off the bone with your hands. I've never actually done this with chopsticks before. So thank you for introducing me to something new.
Yeah, these are all cut up into bite-sized pieces so that it's easier to eat with chopsticks.
And on that note, if you want to learn new things, make sure you subscribe to Ben and Ming. If you like the food adventures I have, their channel got plenty more. So subscribe to them right now because they teach me a lot. This was the most expensive spot, totally worth it for the video. $41.95, fed like kings or family style. We got to get clever with what's coming up. Something that we don't do enough on this channel is pick a spot that nobody has ever been to. We've just settled on this bakery here.
It's called Nice One Bakery. There's so many bakeries in Chinatown to go to. Trying out this one for the first time.
All right, let's see. Let's try something different. Can we get 3 pork buns? Thank you. I just have to say, somehow I got a lot less pork filling in these two. I don't know why.
It's the luck of the draw.
It's just luck of the draw. There's a metaphor somewhere in this, I don't know. There's a life lesson here.
Buy 2, that's a lesson.
Buy 2, yes. All right, let's take a bite. Let's try this, looks good. Nice and fluffy.
This is the part when we say pillowy.
Pillowy, yes, I like that word.
And usually people eat this for breakfast, but you can also eat it for lunch and dinner, like what we're doing now. So this is pretty much like our bagel. You come here any time of the day, I guarantee a nice steamy hot bun.
They're like little hand warmers too.
After eating all day, we still manage to eat more.
It's incredible. I don't know how we do it, because the food in Chinatown's so good, makes it easy.
Yeah.
You got the world famous Malay Wah right down the street with a huge line, but it's okay to try different spots.
This bakery is nice because it has seating inside for all the locals, the grandpas, grandmas to come and sit, read their newspapers. I like that spot.
I also like the 1980s era menus still there. A lot of character.
You don't know how much these buns are until you get the price.
But we only spent about $5 on this, so what do you say, dessert?
Oh, that sounds good.
I've been here before, huge fan, Ali Mama.
I love this spot. I can't get enough of the cream puffs.
All right, we're in business. All right, we've got matcha munchkins. Try saying that 5 times fast.
Matcha munchkins. Matcha munchkins. What is?
Let's do it.
Very comforting.
Chewy matcha flavor. If you grew up with like a Dunkin' Donuts munchkins, think complete opposite here.
Man.
Complete opposite situation.
Don't talk to me about Dunkin'.
I think if you mention the name Ali Mama, people are gonna think cream puff.
Yeah, I think so.
This is the go-to here. Let's do it.
Wow.
Wow.
Bro, every freaking time.
The Vietnamese coffee one that I ordered has a little boba in there as well. Tastes like I'm drinking a Vietnamese coffee, more or less. Just strong, which I like. Good flavor. Delicious dessert.
I'm so proud of you for getting that flavor.
Yeah? Adventurous.
I got the yuzu cream puff. It's a little citrusy, a little tangy. This is great for if you want something super light and it doesn't have boba in it.
And this one tastes like I'm drinking a brown sugar boba. Crunchy on the outside, super creamy on the inside. Tiny boba goes so well with this. In case you're wondering, the boba here is actually very melty. It's not like the real chewy boba you'll be getting in a bubble tea.
Ben and Ming, I have to say, I'm impressed by the amount of damage we did for $100 for 3 people. I think we got pretty creative.
5 spots. Everything was so delicious.
All right, we've done the tally. We spent $100.25. I'm 25 cents short. And well, thank you, Ming. Thank you. All right, we're good. We're good for this video. Members of the Barrio, today we're gonna be showing you some of the best Asian fried chicken in New York City, from Filipino to Korean and Taiwanese. Hope you brought your appetites. This is my go-to fast food spot in New York City, not Arby's, Jollibee. So it's gonna be the 3-piece chicken joy with 1 side, 1 pineapple juice, and 1 water. It's my boy here, Jollibee. This is how you know you've come to the right spot. Fried chicken, this is what they're known for. This is their signature. Actually, could you ever have this before?
Yeah, I've had Jollibee fried chicken before. It's pretty good. It's a lot different than like Kentucky fried chicken, I'll put it that way.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Okay. I've been told that to do Jollibee right, you've got to dip it in the gravy. This piece is so big I can barely fit it in. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Drumstick.
Looks like honey dripping off. Incredible.
It does.
All right, let's take our first bite of the day. Cheers.
Cheers.
If a bite is worth 1,000 words, you could hear how crunchy and crispy this Jolly chicken is with the thigh covered in gravy. The gravy just adds this nice extra salty flavor to it.
I mean, it is good. And it's funny you mentioned how the gravy was like honey. It does taste like that, like the consistency. But it adds a little bit of saltiness afterwards. And this chicken's like so moist. I love it. Jollibee fried chicken. Can never go wrong.
Absolutely not. This is one of those places when I tell people to come to, sometimes they get surprised. They're like, fast food? I'm like, Jollibee is not your average fast food. I'm sorry, right? Not talked about enough here is the pineapple juice at Jollibee. Now it's about 40 degrees outside. Not exactly tropical weather, but you know, this is still, it's putting me in a warm mood, I guess. This is warming me up a little bit. You know, I was here the week it opened. The line was down the block. Jollibee is such a cultural institution in the Philippines, and we just so happen to have an ambassador filming right now, Amazing Ben. Get this, used to work at Jollibee in Virginia. What's the secret to the Jollibee chicken?
This is just typical salt and pepper.
Simple.
No, it's not. They never actually, they come in already marinated. So in the stores, we would just deep fry them. Apart from dunking it, you can also just pour the gravy over. If it ain't messy, it ain't right.
It's time for some KFC, and we're not talking Colonel Sanders here. Korean fried chicken is the hottest type of fried chicken in the city right now.
Could we do the small combo wings and drums with soy garlic? That's it. All right, I said I was only gonna have one piece max to conserve my appetite, but after staring at this, it's gonna be more than one. Just from the looks of it compared to Jollibee, I feel like Jollibee is more of your American style fried chicken. This is very Korean.
I mean, just look at this thing. You see all the glaze on it. It's just coming at you like, eat me.
I agree, it's saying eat me. Like, I don't wanna waste much more time on this. Let's do it.
I know. Cheers. Let's do it.
That was so good, I needed 2 bites at once. It's really crispy and the soy garlic flavor doesn't overpower you. I was afraid that the sauce would be too strong, but it's just like the perfect amount and the consistency of the chicken, excellent.
So good, I almost ate into the bone and ate my teeth, but totally agree with John. The soy garlic flavor doesn't overpower the chicken at all. It's super crunchy.
So far, I think this is the best Asian fried chicken I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
I haven't had a lot. I do not have a huge amount of experience with Asian fried chicken, with Korean fried chicken, but this is just jumping out of the page for me. Now this is important research we're doing because my wife Adriana loves Korean fried chicken. I don't think she's ever been here before, so I'm doing really vital research for our relationship.
No, it's important to have good fried chicken if you want to stay together.
Husband duties, bringing Adriana some, what the heck. Next stop is in the heart of Koreatown, which, and by the way, we did an amazing guide to Koreatown. If you want more ideas what to do here, check it out down below. This is honestly one of the best blocks in all of Manhattan for eating and drinking, I will tell you. Hey, here we are. All right, so this is more of a grab and go kind of place. I admit there's a lot of choices here. We got boneless, with bone. Wow, a lot of choices. I'm thinking honey garlic. It's like the 7-Eleven of Korean fried chicken right here.
This thing. All right, here we go. Big unveil. Oh, that's a lot.
Ooh.
That is a lot. Honey garlic. Turning into an Asian fried chicken fiend after this video. No joke. Bon appetit. Let's try it. I like it, but it doesn't have the same flavor explosion that Bonchan did. This honey is a lot more understated.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. That definitely a lot more crunchy. I'll give it that.
Definitely lighter. I feel like I can eat more of these really quickly or banchan. I just wanted to savor every single bite. Like for me, I could just go through this really fast.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this is more of like a casual restaurant. You just grab and go, and these you could really just down them having a few drinks.
A lot of people don't know this, but fried chicken got very big in South Korea after the American GIs were there. And that's how it spread. Similar story to the Philippines with Jollibee and some other chains. So we're actually looking at some American influence here. Just done a little bit different though.
They're not supposed to talk.
Oh yeah.
Ben, he's not real. He's not real, Ben.
That's what they call him.
Or is he? I did that, you know. I did that when I was in London, but I didn't mess with them. But they really don't flinch. They just chill.
Yeah.
TKK fried chicken. We've went from Philippines to South Korea, now to Taiwanese. I think we're gonna get wings. You want curry seasoned or lemon pepper? Your choice.
Curry.
Oh, I smell the curry. It's a strong,
Oh my gosh.
it's a really strong curry flavor here.
Look at this. It's not as glazy as the other ones, but it looks seasoned very well. I smell the curry.
It has the strongest smell of all of the chicken wings we've had so far today, that's for sure. These aren't really that big. They're cheap, it's fast food style. Cheers.
All right.
Definitely the spiciest of all of the wings we've had so far today. That curry flavor smacks you in the face. Wow. Like with no sauce, with nothing extra, it's a little hot. Definitely a little hot.
Yeah.
I'm digging the curry flavor though.
Yeah, I like it. It is a lot of flavor here. I love the curry.
Definitely not in that same Jollibee style, which I think is more Americanized. Like this is something distinctive. I think it stands by itself. I have to say, of all the spots we went to today, TKK surprised me the most. I had pretty much the lowest expectations of this one. Never been before. Really impressed though. Just like quick, grab and go, fast food. TKK like really went high on my list for it. Today we're gonna eat at some celebrity eateries in New York that have gained fame due to popular TV shows and see if they live up to the hype. We've got Gordon Ramsay fish and chips in the heart of Times Square. Now there are 4 of these in the United States. This opened back in December. Will it be worth it or is it gonna be a kitchen nightmare?
To me, you run a hole of a kitchen yourself.
No,
okay?
no.
Off. Is this the kind of spot you two would normally eat at?
Not at all, actually.
I've never eaten fish and chips in New York, actually.
I don't remember the last time I ate in Times Square.
And Gordon Ramsay, what are you thinking about this spot?
Celebrity chef, let's see what he got.
Good cooking, angry guy.
And if you're curious, this has a 4.1 on Yelp.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
It's mediocre. For New York, I don't know.
The door looks like a phone booth, like the ones in London.
All right, my first impressions, I definitely feel like they're catering to tourists here, like this little fake British world. How are you? Want to get 2 of the fish combos?
Okay, 2 sauces for each, please.
I'll do Gordon's tartar, curry and mango for 1, and then let's do sriracha aioli and Gordon's tartar for the second. $47.86. All right, well, I have to say they dressed it up very nicely, like A for presentation.
This is a really nice, presentable box. Everything, the fish looks really fried, but it looks really good, actually.
What do you think about the size of the fish and chips?
It's pretty good, actually.
One of the biggest complaints here that I've heard is that you're paying $18 for each of these boxes. It's basically a Times Square tax. All right, let's try it. My big issue here, and this is an issue I saw in a lot of the articles written about it, doesn't have much seasoning. I think like these were made to be dipped in the sauces and they really didn't want you to overdo it. I mean, yeah, I could add a little bit of lemon right now if I want. Maybe that'll help, but I didn't get a lot of flavor in that first bite. What did you think?
It was not flavored, but the fish is soft. I like the look of the fish, but I'm a sauce girl, so I always dip a lot of sauce for my food.
Go with the curry and mango. I think
that sounds really good.
I think this is gonna change things up a lot. Let's try with some sauce now.
It's much better. I got a lot of fish in here. This is a good piece.
I mean, I don't think they're skimping on the portions of fish per se. Yeah, I would like another piece or 2 for that money. The curry and mango had like just the right combination of curry and mango flavor. Like it wasn't too strong. I actually enjoyed that a lot, but I don't know if you can really eat this without the sauce. Like I would want more seasoning out of it. Pretty good, right?
I had fish and chips in London and on cruises. I think those are the only times I eat fish and chips. I like this better than the cruises and in London.
So this is better than the fish and chips you had in London? Wow.
I mean, I only had like one touristy spot in London as well.
This isn't something I typically seek out. Like for my British viewers watching, how often do you actually eat fish and chips? You know, Gordon Ramsay said that growing up, fish and chips was a big comfort food for him. I mean, he has so many different restaurants and chains though. I don't know how much he had to do with this. Like I wonder if this was on Kitchen Nightmares, what would he say about the spot?
And then be like, surprise, this is actually your own restaurant. I was so confused the first time I ever ate fish and chips. I got it, I'm like, wait, where are my chips?
You thought it'd be potato chips.
So, yeah, a long time ago. This was like, I don't know, 20 years ago.
Fries are crispy.
McDonald's fries are better.
Where are you from? Ireland, okay. Is this big in Ireland, fish and chips? No. So you're saying, no. It's okay. That's what I was thinking too.
Sometimes British fish and chips are rotten. Depends what fish they use.
Yeah.
The best fish is obviously cod, and that's cod.
So it is good quality fish at least.
It is very good.
You know, New York really isn't that much of like a celebrity, gimmicky restaurant kind of town. Do you agree with that? Like, do you think if more of these popped up, people would go or they wouldn't care?
You know, Times Square is teeming with people, so they'll have people come. But if you want celebrity restaurants, you could go to Vegas for that.
I mean, Gordon Ramsay has a couple spots in Vegas. He has, I think, 2 restaurants in Atlantic City. I guess for him, this isn't that big of a deal, but I can't wholeheartedly recommend my viewers come here if they want authentic fish and chips. Seeing Gordon Ramsay's cutout outside, that is gonna be familiar for some people. It's like going to the Olive Garden in Times Square.
Which is the worst. That's the worst restaurant in Times Square, in New York, in my opinion.
John, thanks for spending $50 on this. All I could say is I would have gotten 5 Chipotle bowls, man, if it's up to me.
$47.85, you gotta get it right.
I'm gonna get a refill on this drink at the fountain to make it worth it. But yeah, when we went to Vegas, it was like Ramsay territory all over. I do prefer this over fish fillet from McDonald's.
How much would you be comfortable spending for this meal, for one of that?
$10.
So you're saying for you it's a value thing. If this was $9.99, you'd say, okay, it's fast food, it's Times Square, I can deal with it.
I would, and it's fish. It's interesting that you said it's somewhat gimmicky, and Times Square is perfect for that.
Yeah.
That's why all the scammers are here.
Are you calling Gordon Ramsay a scammer?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying they happen to be here.
It is. Oh, it is. I guess what gave you the motivation to come here in New York? I'm wondering.
I've been to this one before, man.
Okay. What do you think about it? The fish and chips? It's good? You like it?
Is it authentic enough?
You know, while I didn't love Gordon Ramsay's fish and chips, I actually am curious to try Hell's Kitchen in Las Vegas because I've heard you have to make a reservation like weeks in advance.
When we went to Vegas, I think everywhere you needed to have a reservation, which was like crazy because in New York, you could just kind of go in.
You just pop in usually, yeah.
It's just so different.
What I find interesting is people just like stop here and take photos. Gordon Ramsay is the attraction. If this was just London fish and chips, no one would be here. So celebrity selves. I gotta say, Times Square is hopping right now. Like tourism is back in full swing. Now this is something that typically has celebrities that I highly endorse. We've got Carlo's Bake Shop, which was made world famous on the TLC show Cake Boss, which aired for 9 seasons. And Buddy Velostro's got 12 of these nationwide, with the original being in Hoboken, New Jersey. And apparently that's turned Hoboken into a destination by itself. Now it does have a lowly 2.6 stars on Yelp. All right, let's check it out, shall we? To you.
Thank you.
Oh, there he is. Busy with these spots and the cardboard cutouts. I have one of Buddy's box. Thank you.
Ooh.
Both of the celebrity spots, they get a 10 out of 10 for branding. This would look nice if you brought it home as a gift. Yeah, I just saw your face, $34.95 for these 6 items.
We gotta get a second job.
I need a second job to afford this video. You're absolutely right. You know, I don't eat enough cannolis for someone that lives in the city with such a big Italian-American population. But I have to say that at least it's big enough. All right, let's try this. Let's take a bite. The words that come to mind are not bad. This would be a good cannoli at some tourist trap in Little Italy. Like, not the best one I've ever had in my life.
First word that came to mind is it tastes nice. I learned that you don't want to be described as nice whenever someone describes you.
You're saying they're not taking risks.
Correct. It's good. It's cooling, you know, on a hot day like this.
The exterior should be a little crumblier. I mean, I don't know how long these have been sitting there. A cannoli's $5.95.
Wow.
It's funny because I've walked by this place so many times and I'm always like, no, it looks kind of gimmicky. I don't want to try it. And I'm not saying it's bad. I think nice is the right word.
Yeah, and the fact that it's right next to the port already doesn't help to a local New Yorker.
My viewers out there that have went to the original Carlo's in Hoboken and tried this one, did you notice a difference? I grew up in a town with a lot of Italians. I grew up eating cannolis. This is just mediocre.
Mediocre average is pretty good for a touristy area. Is this a national chain or a global chain?
They opened one here, now there's 12 nationally. So it started as a family-owned business and then it's gone national.
We were asking why would tourists go to Gordon Ramsay? Why would someone from UK come to New York and visit Gordon Ramsay? I think when you're away from home, you miss the food that you've been eating.
When I leave New York, I'm not eating pizza anywhere else. Unless it's Italy. Unless it's Italy, then I will.
Right.
We've got a lobster tail, which is super Italian-American.
John told us, oh, we're gonna eat lobster tails today, and I was like, that sounds awesome. Let me Google it. I Googled it, and then I was like, this is not a lobster tail. I would prefer the real thing, John. Maybe next time.
You had your fish, you had your cod. Let's give us a bite. Try it.
The exterior is much more crunchier than I thought. The inside is cooling.
The cream filling in the middle is actually pretty comforting. I like the flavor of it, but the exterior, it's just, I think it's too crunchy for this. Like it needs to be a little softer. I think if you ordered enough items here, you probably would find a couple that were solid, but I don't know if they had an off day or they just don't do cannolis and lobster tails well, but
it's all right, but I prefer my other desserts more.
We're gonna see how the cake boss does cake. I can see a chocolate fudge cake slice. This is interesting.
Oh wow, it's so packaged.
So packaged. $10 slice of cake.
I've never seen a cake packaged like this.
It's so funny.
You guys are getting married soon. You know, if this is good, would you consider getting your wedding cake from the cake boss?
Oh man.
No, we already have a cake.
Yeah, that's why. That's why.
Cheers.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
It's so rich.
It's rich, but I was afraid that it might be overly sweet, and it wasn't. I think I'll prefer this over the cannoli, actually.
I like the lobster tail the most.
I've definitely had more chocolate cake in my life than lobster tails and cannolis combined, so let me see. I would definitely take this cake over the other two. Thinking that was like what the show was really big on, I'm kind of not surprised our cake would be decent. Got a reputation to uphold. I don't know, if you're traveling with friends or family and they're a huge fan of Cake Boss, maybe you come in for something. But Italian pastries, you guys said it first, Venero's in the East Village is where I would send people. Actually, this is better than a supermarket cake, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
As you can see, eating in Times Square is not the most healthy place for your food.
I feel like Times Square is just a mini Vegas strip. I said it to Norma Helly, Vegas YouTuber, and she covers a lot of these chain restaurants out in Vegas. We were walking by, I'm like, yeah, I get those vibes.